Hey everybody. Hey YouTube. Hello world. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. I'm gonna wait a little while. I haven't made a live stream or a video in a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to get in the chat. I hope everybody's hanging in there. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. It's Saturday night. It's October 3rd, 2020 at 9:41 p.m. I've got a couple of articles tonight. If you are in chat, welcome. If you're a targeted individual, I hope that you're finding some defenses and some peace. I've kind of been out of commission for a couple of weeks. I thought it was better, like, because I think this week that the UN report is being read on cybertorture. The bad thing is, I think it's going to be like we're going to have to search for it. Like we're going to have to go in. It's going to be a subsection of one of the reports, and we're going to have to search for it. So that's not too hopeful. Hey, Arachno Nixon. Arachno Nixon says, "Hey, man, how are you doing, bro?" Yeah, dude, I've been doing really bad, and I thought it would just be a good idea. I was like, I've been working on some editing and stuff. It's hard to get motivated though, and I was like, I think it's a good idea if I just kind of back off until whatever happens with the UN happens, and then kind of see where we can go from there, right? Because I've just been doing so bad with the remote neural manipulation. I found some things. I'm going to show you guys some things that have been helping a little bit. Hey, Tanya. Tanya says, Kyle, miss you so much. I miss you guys too. I mean, I've been hanging in there, trying to work on stuff. Hey, Slack. Hey, Generation says, hi, Kyle. Good to see you. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing with all this? So this week we got it coming up. I just don't think, when they read the UN report, I'm not sure what day it is going to be, but it's not going to be something where it just like blows up, right, and enters the news. We're going to actually have to go in there and search for it. And then I've got I've got a psychiatrist appointment on the 13th, and I'm going to kind of test it on her. I'm going to get whatever said, get it copied and everything, kind of see how she reacts, try and get the ball rolling, try and get back into things. Really, Tanya? Tanya says, Kyle, I've been to the hospital. I feel like I need to go to the hospital every day, Tanya. Like I'm shaking right now. Not because I'm nervous, but just because my nervous system is just so fried, like the stuff they've been doing to my brain is just horrible. And I've gotten to this point where it's like I've been doing YouTube so long that everything's going wild, right? Actually, like I went out to get a haircut the other day, and I had to sign in. They had to take my temperature and everything. But then the lady cutting the hair wasn't even wearing a mask. She was like, "Oh, I forgot to wear my mask." So I'm going around to a lot of businesses in Baton Rouge. The doors say you've got to wear a mask. Those rules are still in place. Most businesses are still open, but most people aren't wearing masks anyway, and nobody's really telling them anything. So it seems like things are, well, I mean, I don't know. Things aren't going to go back to normal. I don't think they're going to let us stop wearing masks or whatever. I mean, if you are wearing a mask, but it seems like people, it seems like people aren't really following the rules anymore. Nobody cares. Okay, Slack says breaks over, back to work, have fun, and I'll check in later. Yeah, I'm just going to hang out for a little while. I just wanted to pop my head up. I'm going to try and get back into, putting out information, but I was like, there's really no use in me pushing so hard, when my torture's so bad, when the UN report's coming up, so that was so I've kind of backed up a little bit, and I'm kind of trying to be patient. That's one thing, like as a targeted individual, I want to say, like, I want to say it's impossible to be patient with this because we're being murdered. Like they're doing, rapey things to our brain, messing us up. But it's like one thing that we've got to think it's almost impossible because we need patience in this, Hey, Mo, how are you doing, brother? You guys been doing okay? Third Eye Justice says there's usually a lot more shills and perps in chats. Yeah, I haven't been on for a while though. I haven't been on YouTube for I think like 3 weeks. I don't know how many people are gonna be coming in the chat. Mo says Vulcan Wolverine Kyle, did the helmet work? It kind of works when I put it on, but the deal is, Mo, it's so uncomfortable. It's so tight around my head that any kind of I felt like it was blocking something out, but it was so uncomfortable that that was like negating anything good it was doing. So I'd say like if you could get a helmet like your helmet, but get it big enough so it's a lot more. It's gonna bounce some of the stuff off because there's like reflective surfaces really do reflect invisible light, which is electromagnetic frequency, but even some of the spectrum that they're using, right? The problem that we have with this, and it's so complicated, is they can adjust, they can go up and down the electromagnetic spectrum, magnetic frequencies, but then it's like how much further do they go past that with scalar or parts of the electromagnetic frequency aren't known so much about by science, by public science, right? So when we talk about what I can't think. That's why I haven't been doing videos lately. My brain just won't work. I can't organize my thoughts, or like my attackers can just like just shut off whatever I was going. But the photon light on the electromagnetic spectrum, but not a lot about it is known by public scientists, right? So we're kind of trying to defeat and defend some of that. I don't know, man. I'll show y'all one thing I've been doing that's been pretty good. I've been waking up actually tonight, like I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I felt just this feeling of dread and depression, like the RE is just terrible, and it makes me unmotivated. It makes me not want to do stuff, right? Because like when you do stuff, when you do projects, or when you do something positive, being murdered with your mind being raped while you're doing it, you're never satisfied with what you're putting out. You're never like the ideas that you have. You're like, oh, my attackers are manipulating my head so much. They're doing all this psychic driving. Oh, my ideas, and like, we're not satisfied with it, right? It's way over that, but it's like I have to kind of take it back and be like, okay, this is a challenge, right? This is really just being murdered. But it's like we have to, in some impossible way, see it as a challenge. Arachno Nixon says, Kyle, can you ship it back and swap? I got it on eBay. I got it on eBay, noise canceling hearing aids, which get the noise canceling hearing aids. If you have remote neural manipulation, that it works, right? But with this on, it's like, it's way too small. I'm going to see if I can do that. But I think with eBay, it's a lot harder. With eBay, it's hard to get, it's hard to exchange things because you're buying it from like a seller. And hey, Paul says, I pray for all targeted individuals all over the world. Thank you, Paul. Let's pray for each other right now. It's been really hard for a lot of people. It's been really hard for me. I think even before the pandemic and the New World Order just rolling in way more, I was at this point, like I was telling y'all on one of the videos, in Endgame and Avengers Endgame, like Captain America's shield's broken, him's ripped up, he's done. He can't fight anymore, and there's this huge army coming after him, and then the cavalry rolls in. I was like waiting for that before the pandemic. I was like, I can't do anything anymore. I'm so tired. And then just the world came down on us, right? Char says, hey Char. Char says, great to have you back. So sorry you were being so brutally attacked. Heads up, TIs, this has been predicted. Buckle your going to be a very bumpy ride. Yeah, it's already been a very bumpy ride for me and a lot of other target individuals for for me, the overt torture for almost a decade. Yeah, this is an extremely bumpy horror movie, almost like we're in hell ride, you know. Hey, Lion and Lamb says, hello, everyone. Let me show you guys this, something helpful. Let's start off with something a little bit helpful that I've been trying. And my thing, guys, I know that some of these defenses, they don't work 100%. They start falling back. Like you get, you know, I've gotten some good years out of some of these defenses, but it's just so, our attackers have so long, right? Start overpowering and adapting to things. Mo says, any unusual dreams with the 5G up? Do you think the noise canceling head earpieces work, Kyle? Any recommendations on equipment that works? The noise canceling hearing aids work if you're getting the ringing in your ears and you've got remote neural manipulation, directed dreaming, your nervous system is being burned by signals to the brain. Get the noise canceling hearing aids, because what they're doing is they're sending signals to the brain that go to the inner ear. They're sending signals to the inner ear that go to the brain. It's like this loop, right? And they're building it up. So our targeting is going to get worse because they're going to get more and more hooked into our brain frequency, to our unique brainwave frequency. And they do that in the eyes, the vestibular system. So you want to get those noise canceling hearing aids. It's worth it. I think they're like $100. The Britsco gray one, ground. Use Dave Case's CD. Dave Case's CD, guys, that is a crucial recipe to me to me being able to kind of level out. Like I'm so tired and more than annoyed by the torture, right? But it does give me enough what's it called? Enough slack so that I can kind of do some things. But the problem with that, there's a problem with everything, you know, with this targeting. Everything's so complicated, and we've got to try a lot of stuff, which isn't really good for a lot of people because they want something proved and tested and it's going to work 100%. We're just not dealing with that here. And what, you know, a lot of targeted individuals, say that Dave Case's CD does not work for them. You know, they just can't use it. And that's one of the things that's like the centerpiece. It's the centerpiece for everything else, kind of like the grounding and the headgear and stuff like that, being able to take out whatever kind of weak stuff they have left, coming in because of Dave Case's CD. Hey, Oliver. Oliver says, I'm here and I have made a breakthrough discovery. Lay it on us, man. Lay it on us. I'm gonna pull up something that I've been doing, and I'll tell you all kind of my nightly routine. And my big thing is if we can get some good sleep and defend enough in our sleep, which I'm kind of halfway there, right? I wake up and I still feel bad. They're doing brain, but I think we can think of some creative things to interfere with all the psychic driving hypnosis, right? I put that in the title because I think we've got remote neural manipulation going on, right? Brian too talked about it. All targeted individuals talk about it. Signals to the brain. But then, and I've said this a couple of times, we talk about this, right? You go to sleep, they do the directed dreaming. They do the V2K that you can hear for target individuals that have audible V2K. They do subliminal V2K. So they have all these lines of hypnosis, and they're saying things to our brain, right? That's facilitating the remote neural manipulation getting worse. And I've been experimenting with some things that interfere with the hypnosis and psychic driving. I've noticed that it's helped with the hardcore signals to the brain interfering with certain parts of the brain, right? Because the brain is such a powerful weapon. If they're hypnotizing us and entraining us and telling our brain certain things, and our brain starts to think that it's a lot worse, right? Then the thing that it is really bad, like we're being killed, but then it gets a million times worse from that hypnosis, right? Lion and the Lamb says, they sleep deprived me for a week. I thought I would die. They let me sleep last night. I woke up with a massive headache and feeling they were hooking something into my eyeballs. It may have been, for a lot of my targeting, Lion and Lamb, like right when I started using Dave Case's CD, I think in 2016, I think it was around 2016, they started carving out my eyes with microwaves, right? It felt like they were digging into my eyes. Like I'd wake up and like up to here was just kind of cooked out. Like my eyeballs were cooked out. And I think because they couldn't get through the ears, they were going through the eyes. Now I take off these glasses. Like sometimes I'm like, it's hard to know how good things are working because your attackers can shift. If they're doing something really hardcore, you block it, then they, find another way to do things, another protocol. But I found that these glasses, when I take them off, I get a lot more tired. I feel like if my eyes tear up, they can really burn them and stuff like that. So what I would suggest, this is just what I would suggest, and I'm not sure if it's going to work for everybody or do anything for you, but you can get a pair of polarized sunglasses for $10. Just try that. That's not a defense that's like $100 that you got to break the bank on. And it's, guys, we've got to, I mean, I don't know. We're going to see what happens this week. I have to admit, I'm not too hopeful about it. I'm hopeful about what I can do if they have a subsection with Cybertorture and everything like that. It's a door open, but it's not what we want, right? It's not what I want. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna kind of test it out on some doctors and psychiatrists. I'm gonna push. After this, I've got to push with some ideas. The problem is that when you're being remote neural manipulated and directed energy weapons are just hitting you in the head, and like, I have extremely bad torture in that way. It's hard to just be like, come up with ideas. Oh, we can do this, right? Plus, I'm sure a lot of you guys deal with this too, this learned helplessness when you've been tortured for, years and years and years and years. Like at the beginning, I was like, oh, every day I'm going to get something, get some aluminum foil, or get something creative and defend, right? I'm going to get something creative and defend. But at this point, I'm just like, I take what I have no money left. I have money to kind of live, right? But I don't have a lot of money to get creative with defenses or anything like that. So I just take what I have, and it's this learned helplessness of just surviving through the day. And that's a really bad thing. So I've got to practice and condition to getting back to thinking of something every day and pushing every day, because this is our lives, and I think a lot of us are very concerned that this won't end, just to be honest. I've got to keep the faith on it, but a lot of target individuals, it's just going on for so long. We can't stop fighting though. We've had victories in this thing. I'm excited to see what happens this week, and then we're going to see what we can do with it. What we'd like is that the UN would report cyber torture, and the media would pick up on it. But I think we're going to have to take the ball, whatever little scraps, right? The most important issue in the world, right? Covered up by many other things that are manufactured to destroy the world and reset the economy and take people out. But the most important issue in the world, and we're being thrown scraps with no money and no way to make our lives what we want. And then we've got to figure out how to use these scraps to beat the hardest thing that's ever existed in humanity, in human history. Rachno Nixon says, they only let me sleep 1 or 2 hours a night, most every night. It's weird. I have a different protocol. My attackers can keep me up like they did before my psychiatrist appointment. But usually I think what they're doing now is they're getting so much psychic driving when my brain is at rest, right? Because they did a lot of sleep deprivation at first, but now it's like they'll even try and keep me asleep because they're getting these hypnotic suggestions and this psychic driving going. And so they want me to sleep, actually. It's really weird. Arachno Nixon says, Mo, thanks, but I take any sleep aid. They just get their boots on the ground pawns to bang on my wall or some other noise. Yeah, dude. The Ativan helps you to sleep. The Neurontin, I haven't had Neurontin for about I think a week or two, 2 weeks. I ran out. I was scared that my nervous system was I was gonna have some kind of withdrawals from it, but I didn't. It wasn't bad, and it really helps. It kind of just, I don't want to say shuts off your nervous system, but if you're taking Neurontin, it's like it cuts off what your attackers are using to just amp up the pain. So I don't want to suggest it because I'm not a doctor, but it worked really good. I had like a 2-month supply or whatever, and I've got to go see my psychiatrist the 13th. But then I stopped taking it, waited for about 2 weeks, and, no really bad effects. It wasn't like a withdrawal or my nervous system was just wigging out. There are some things that can help us. Mo says, Kyle, either sleep or awake, that is the cycle. Yeah, it's either keep you awake all the time or keep you so tired that you're sleeping all the time. It's like they switch off. And I have the artificial depression and anxiety where, I'll wake up from sleeping 10 hours or something, sleeping 10 hours, and it takes me about 2 hours to get my brain out of a fog, and more depression from sleeping and being hypnotized. But then I don't have energy during the day, right? I don't have any energy when I wake up. Oh, that's a good suggestion. Oliver says you should try vitamin D and earplugs. Yeah, I think the noise canceling hearing aids are going to work better than earplugs. But yeah, if you don't have the noise canceling hearing aids, get the earplugs. The noise canceling hearing aids are putting a specific frequency in. Dr. Hoffer showed it to me on a little diagram. There's a specific area in the inner ear which they're sending a frequency. They'll hit your brain, and then that it's transitioning to the inner ear, or it's coming straight into the inner ear. But it's a specific part of the inner ear that they're creating this biorelevant feedback loop to the brain. To put pain into your nervous system, to do the directed dreaming, to read and write to the brain, right? To do mind control, to read and write to the brain. So if you get the noise canceling hearing aids, it's putting a specific canceling frequency into that specific area of the inner ear. And Dr. Hoffer knows a lot about this. He said, yeah, it'll stop a lot of the pain. Problem is, it just doesn't stop at 100%. And our attackers have like all the time in the world to torture us, to adapt, to figure out all this stuff, to kind of transition. Mo Smith says, I'm talking a natural aid, melatonin. I'm talking about a natural health aid, melatonin. It works for many people. Some people it doesn't, but it does not hurt to try it. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good idea. Melatonin really does work. I haven't taken it in a while. Melatonin is really natural. It's something your brain produces naturally, and I think it's assisted by the pineal gland. So our melatonin is going to be way off. Like our melatonin is going to be way off, and it helps you with your circadian rhythms, right? So you know when it's daytime, or you know when it's time to sleep, and you know when it's time to be awake. I think I need to start taking some melatonin again, because lately it's like it'll be I'll wake up in the afternoon, or wake up like late at night or something like that. My sleep schedule's totally thrown off, and then it'll be like 3 in the afternoon, right? But it'll feel like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. So like my circadian rhythm's been so screwed up that I'm not sure if it's night or day sometimes. Like I forget the last time that I slept. Everything just kind of mixes in. Every day mixes in. I think everybody should try melatonin. Some things don't work for some people. Some things work. Some things work for some people that don't work for others, right? So if you're trying to use something that works for one person that doesn't work for you, then find something better. I need to take melatonin again though. I take magnesium all the time, and I haven't been taking my what's it called? Oh, I can't remember the name of that. The cleansing supplement. Oh, zeolite. I've been forgetting to take my zeolite. But when I take my zeolite, I feel a lot better. Let me show y'all real quick something I've been doing. We'll hang out for a little while. I've got some articles pulled up, but I'm not that organized tonight. I just wanted to say hey and see how you guys are doing. And then, I'm going to get back into putting out some more information. I want to see what happens this week. Can anybody in chat I guess not, because we don't have a title, right? We don't, like in the UN reports that are being read, there's nothing that's like the main title is cyber torture. It's the one that I made that last video, and there's one that's the same title for his talk to the Human Rights Council that contained in a subsection cyber torture. I'm pretty sure it's there, but I forgot the date of it, but I'm pretty sure it's this week, right? So we can see what we're getting on that. I got to be honest with you guys. I've backed up from the whole truth community and looking, like, for when the pandemic started, I was like watching high impact vlogs, Richie from Boston every day, just any truther channel on it, and I just had to step away. And now what I've been doing is, like, I've been playing video games and watching video game speed runs, which is crazy. Like, it's a crazy thing that they do, but I'm trying to just get totally out of the truth community because there's so many other things they're talking about other than targeted individuals, that everything is bad. We can look at these, and I'm not saying, and I'm not saying that things are not hella bad in the world and for the human race, but it's like we're like in the truth community, it's like they're trying to find the worst situation, like the worst example, and then we're always putting those out. So we think everything's like that, and everybody's like that. And I'm not trying to insult anything. We need to put truth out. But it's just like, it made me feel like when I'd hear stories about people, like if you didn't wear a mask, people were getting into fights and everything like that, and people were kicking people out of stores and stuff like that. Those are pretty extreme situations. Like, I went out in my city, and sometimes I wasn't wearing a mask, and they didn't care, and they didn't think about it. And people were going into Walmart without masks, and the signs. So it's like all these horrible situations it's not like that everywhere, right? I don't know what I'm trying to say with that, but I had to kind of back off because, like, I came back to, like, kind of looking at some videos, and I'm not going to say whose channel it was, but they were like, after everything that's going on, now there's like these rumors of the United States going to war with Iran. And then there's rumors about the United States going to war with China on top of everything. And some of these things don't happen like like some people are saying. I'm not trying to say like people putting truth out are bad at all. I'm just saying I had to kind of get away from it because I got to focus on this targeting. I don't know. This stuff is crazy. I've been just trying to figure out what to do, really just surviving, but also, trying to get pumped up and figure out what path to take, which it's going to require seeing what happens with the UN report. So I was like, I might as well not burn myself out, through the month. I should wait, kind of. Hey, Flat Earth Space Agency. Flat Earth Space Agency said, missed you, bro. I missed you too, man. Alan says Resident Evil speedrun. Nice. Yeah, you can look up any game. Like on any game that's ever been made, there's going to be some person, at least one, but usually there's communities that will speedrun the games, right? And they'll speedrun Mario. They'll speedrun long games. Like I saw a speedrun for Red Dead Redemption 2. It was 9 hours. Like a speed run for 100%, like Zelda Majora's Mask was like 6 hours long or something like that. And so I was like, well, it's kind of comforting. I can at least listen to people playing video games and explaining it. And it's something to get my mind off of the V2K and everything like that. It's external stimuli, right? What was the best one that I saw? A lot of these speed runs, they just skip the entire game. And then it's like, I accidentally downloaded Dark Souls 2 a long time ago because I thought it was I thought it was another game. And I started watching all these speedruns for Dark Souls, and I was like, I'll try that out because I just need something challenging for my brain to keep my brain going, right? And I hate that game. I hate Dark Souls. It's stupid. And guess how many bosses there are in Dark Souls? There's 42 bosses. So it's a Kabbalistic thing. I think it's because the game, I don't know. Some people may like that game, but I just find it's like not what I'm looking for in a gaming experiencing, like the hardest thing ever. You got to remember all these items and crap. I just want to sit down and relax and not care. And if I want to do something challenging in the game, I'd like to be able to do that. But I don't want to have to do a bunch of challenging stuff. Yeah, definitely Char. Char says, Kyle, anything that helps us decompress from the horrors that is the life of a TI is beneficial, no matter no matter what it is. Don't know what speed runs are, but glad it helped. Yeah. Yeah, it was just something. It's like when people play video games, Char. Like I just play a video game and I kind of just go through it and it just casually, right? It's these people that get into communities and they're like, okay, how fast can we beat this game? Like, so when you're walking through the game, they will like jump. They'll do the jump roll to get further, to do it faster. And then they'll like go through walls and stuff. And then they'll go to another part of the level that's basically glitching, right? Glitching the game out. Kind of interesting. But some of these people, dude, some of these people play these games that they speed run thousands of times. Like some dude played The Last of Us. Like, and I haven't played The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2, but I kind of watch stuff on them and I'm like, you know, some people might like those games too. But this guy who is doing the speed run for Last of Us, he did the speed run for Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2. He had played the game 2,000 tries doing speed runs. Some guy who was doing Ninja Gaiden, like he was doing a speed run for Ninja Gaiden, 3,000 times, 3,000 runs. Dude, that's got to drive you crazy because just playing a game like one more time for me or playing it 3 times, I'm like, oh, I've already seen all this stuff. You know, I kind of want something new. Oh man, it's pretty wild. It's something that's kind of weird that that you might want to look at. And I know some people just don't like video games. So Alan, you got some videos up, man? Tanya says, Alan, so happy I found your videos. I got to check your channel out, Alan. I got to check your channel out, man. And subscribe. So everybody check out Alan Nielsen Brewer's channel. That's awesome, man. Yeah, everybody needs to be putting some information out, kind of seeing where this UN thing is going. I know not a lot of people think anything's gonna really come from. I do. I think we can make something out of it. If they just have a subsection, if they have a subsection for cyber torture, they mention artificial intelligence, neurotechnology, you know, especially if they mention directed energy, I think that'll be a good door open. I got it. You know, I just got to stay positive, guys. This is really bad, so bad. But after so many years, it's like it's so negative that you've got to, you just got to stay positive to keep going, you know. Affliction of a Christian says, you are amazing. You are so growing to be able to talk about something else than targeting, and it is everywhere in my life. No, targeting engulfs my life, you know. But I feel like we kind of do have to do that to keep our sanity. We have to talk about other stuff. We have to like force ourselves to these external stimuluses. We've got to balance. Like the hardest thing for us and the hardest thing for me is having a homeostasis, a balance, right? Every day it's just emergency mode. We're in emergency mode. We've got to find ways to find some kind of homeostasis, get our mind off it, because our attackers want our minds on them. They want us, you know, hating them and say, oh God, you know, like what we all do, right? Focus on them. We've got to kind of get our focus off occasionally, you know. The body and the brain. I never thought about the brain needing homeostasis, right? I thought about your body and you need homeostasis and health, but your brain needs homeostasis. Like your brain needs to not have voices shooting at it, people putting visuals in it. Just the fact that you know that automated equipment and people are looking at your thoughts, right? That's a huge thing. For years and years, it changes the way you think. It changes the way you're able to organize your thoughts because you know everything that is in your brain, that your brain is producing. You know, there could be human operators there. For me, I know that it's true. There are human operators there. V2K is mostly chatterbox. But they're doing a lot of brain to computer interface. For some people, it may be completely AI, but just knowing that your every evoked potential, evoked energy that your brain is creating to create thoughts is being watched, it entirely changes the way that you are able to communicate, think, do things. It's really bad. Like, I guess for the first couple of years, it didn't really faze me as much as that when it just doesn't end for year after year, and you're like, wow, these people are still there. They're just still watching every thought, looking at every visual, and it just changes the way that you can that homeostasis of your brain. I have my brain to myself. I can calm down. I can meditate. It's like it's almost impossible for me to do that. Oh, Mo says, Kyle, miss your story time comic book stuff. Yeah, I have that channel still going on, Vulcan Comics 47. And I've just been, man, it's just been too rough. I've just been like, every time that I want to do something, I'm just like, I really can't today, but I'm going to try and do something with it. And one thing that I've been talking about a lot, I'm going to try and get my ass moving on it, because I think it would help me a lot more, give you guys something to kind of do, and it may be productive, is that if I can get the hookup, I'm going to have to figure it all out. It should be easy, but get the hookup for my PS3, my PS4, to maybe do stuff on that VW Comics 47 channel, just play through games, and then we can talk about targeting and stuff like that. So we can be doing something while we talk about it. I think I'm going to still do something with it. It's hard though as a targeted individual. I have all these plans. I want to do this, and I want to do this, and we need to fight this, and and I got to do this to balance what I'm putting out, like productive stuff. Can I make something out of this? Could I make a successful YouTube channel with the comic books and movies and stuff like that? So then I could, take that success and use it over here for what we're dealing with. But then it's like when you're targeted, I can just survive today. And then sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes like I'm not going to survive today, right? My brain is just not going to have homeostasis today. Hey, Lee Jennifer Corlew Aries says, traditional Catholics are fighting back. Go tell them what communists have been doing to you. I like that. Lee Jennifer Corlew Aries says, it will get better. Mostly a computer is doing it. Once you forget about the people, you will not care about it as much. Yeah. Yeah. And I would say that in a lot of situations, Lee Jennifer, that mostly a computer's doing it, but there are different protocols, right? Let me show you guys something real quick. Let me show you guys this article I'm going to show you guys a couple of articles from Wired. But you've got this brain to computer interface. Brain to computer interface is like brain to computer interface is like one of the most important things that they're working on for consumer products, for medical applications, for military things. And the problem with my protocol is that the HiveMind team on mine do a lot of brain to computer interface. So they do a lot of like, I'm smelling what they're smelling, I'm feeling what they're feeling, certain inner voice stuff they're putting in that they're just thinking in their inner voice. Then their brainwave frequencies are going through whatever kind of equipment they're using, the integrated directed energy weapon systems, and then it's changing, it's modulating it to my brainwave frequency, and then it's infiltrating my brain, So there may be some protocols that aren't really doing a lot of brain to computer interface, where it's just automated stuff set up. Honestly, I kind of feel like there's human operators. Wait, why did I get off of that? There's human operators for a lot of us. And even if they're not doing a lot of manual stuff all the time, and they have to teach the AI how to do stuff, right? So they have to be there. They have to be there if the AI screws up, and they have to correct that. So, I don't think there's a lot of TIs with just complete AI. I know a lot of targeted individuals would disagree with me. They'd be like, every targeted individual, it's pure automated systems, it's no human operators. But from my experiences and what I've researched and what they're trying to get out of this, right? There's so many angles of what they're trying to get out of this experimentation, torture, you know, whatever you want to call it, murder of a bunch of people all over the world. And it's a lot of products and brain to computer interface things. Let me show you guys this thing. I want to pull up my chat though, so I can see you guys in chat. But this is from Wired magazine. Wired is Wired magazine makes articles. Like this one lady wrote an article, and I'll show you guys that later. Wrote an article about her dad saying that he was a targeted individual, kind of looking for bugs in his place. She at the end decides that he is mentally ill, right? But then they come out with all these other articles about brain to computer interfaces, mind control for the masses, the military being very serious about mind control weapons. So they're putting all this out. But then when people hear targeted individual talk saying, I'm being experimented on by this stuff, they're like, oh, mental illness, yeah. Oh, but all these cool new technologies are coming out. Brain to computer interfaces. Oh, these small startup businesses just somehow figured out on the fly, right? And Elon Musk just from no years of research or anything or experimentation, he just kind of discovered how to interface with the brain with wireless frequency. Just shows how much control evil people have over our society. Oh, is that my channel right there? Click what? Click on that. Okay. But let's read a little bit of this. So this is one of the things. It's like you know, this is one of the things why you would have a hive mind team, why you would have human operators to teach the AI to do certain stuff, teach the AI how to react to what we're doing, but also to do brain to brain things, right? So in my protocol, that's happening. Hey, SHP man, how you doing? Believing in miracles says, what's the wrench mean? That means somebody's a moderator, that they can kind of just help me out in chat when I'm not looking at chat. Hey, Charles, bro, how you doing? What are you guys trying to use OBS for? Are you trying to do, like, to put up things on a stream, SHP? If you're trying to, like, put things, like, if you have, I don't know what you use to live stream. I'm not sure what y'all are trying to do. Okay, so SHP says, what is the software you're using? I want to talk people through things, but I have tried Zoom and there it gets screwy. So this is StreamYard. So SHP, if you just get StreamYard, it's free. I think that I think to get more than like 6 or 7 people on your live stream or something, you have to pay a monthly fee. It's free at first, so see what you get with the free stuff. And then if you want some of the other options, I think it's maybe like $15 a month to do some things after that. But get StreamYard. StreamYard's better than Zoom. I did Zoom for a while, and Zoom really messed up on me. Zoom had me real messed up, and it seemed like my attackers could mess with it more. It seemed like at certain times, even if my attackers weren't messing with it, it could cut out. Do StreamYard, and then you can get on there. You don't have to broadcast it, I don't think. I'm not sure. I've never just talked to somebody on StreamYard without it being put on YouTube. So I'm not sure if you can. I know you can do that with Zoom, but I don't know if you can do it with StreamYard. So I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, Most Miss says post the channel on this video and post that comic book channel on future uploaded videos. I didn't know you have another channel. Yeah, it does. It just has that. I haven't put anything new on it. But I was thinking maybe I could do, you know, play some video game, do something that can keep me kind of going, and then we can just chat and people can hang out sometimes. Or maybe I could do some live streams where we just read comics and stuff like that. I don't know though. It's like I want to do something with it, but I'm like, I've got so much other stuff, you know, stuff that's very important to us that I want to do. And I've got done with my editing, with some of my, the editing stuff's not taking a long time. It's my motivation. It's like I have some stuff going on, but I'm just like, oh, I don't want to. I want to just wait for the UN. I want to wait for the UN report. I want to see what we're working with, you know. Yeah, Alan says SHP, great channel for TIs, more tech, helpful, and good chat. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. I think you could do that. I think you could do that with StreamYard. Yeah, Charles Hall says my sciatic nerve is fried. Yeah, just down the left side. You know, I have to say that with the Neurontin, a lot of this left side pain stopped, and then even when I've stopped taking it for 2 weeks, it's like my attackers haven't been able to stimulate it the same way. I really don't want to recommend this Neurontin because a lot of people are saying, you know, it's so dangerous or whatever, but it really helped me a lot. Like if you're in emergency mode, I would say try that, you know. So this is mind control for the masses, no implant needed. You see, and you see this kind of technology. A wave of startups wants to make brain-computer interfaces accessible without needing surgery. Just strap on the device and think. Now, this is what, you know, you hear Brian too saying they have a little piece of thing they can put like that. I think that my attackers have something that they put like on the back of their head, or just something something like a hat or something like that. Could be something they put in their ear, but this is what they're talking about with these startup companies that are going to have things you can just put on your head, then you can control a computer with it, right? And all this stuff from these startup companies, they didn't think of this. They didn't invent this. These startup companies did not come up with this. They didn't. This was from years and years since at least after World War II of brain experimentation, of experimenting on people's brains, on sending frequencies to the brain, getting frequencies from the brain, right? Getting signals to and from the brain. That's what this technology comes from. Then they trickle it out in startup companies that are part of the system, right? So you're going to see a lot of mind control technologies coming out of Google, a lot of mind control technologies coming out of Facebook, right? Facebook, Google, we already see that. Then you got Elon Musk, right? Well, he's the poster boy for the military-industrial complex. They're going to funnel out ideas that they've murdered people and are murdering us right now for, that they've experimented all these years. They're going to funnel them out and trickle them out in people like Elon Musk and startup companies and medical things like that. But none of these people invented any of this stuff. This has been from the military-industrial complex of many countries experimenting on and killing many people. Hey, Rose, what's up? Yeah, Zoom really sucks. I'm just not sure how much stuff you're going to be able to do, like person to person on StreamYard. I'm not sure if you can. I haven't tried that. Just like talking to somebody else who has StreamYard on StreamYard. You may just be able to go on. I guess you could, because before you go live, you can get people in talking, so you just don't have to go live. Maybe you just set up a stream like you're gonna go live, but don't go live, and then just talk to somebody. I don't know. There's probably a way you can do it. So mind control for the masses, no implant needed. When Sid Coutier showed up at Slush, the annual startup showcase in Helsinki, wearing an ascot cap and a device he claimed would usher in a new era of technological mind control, no one thought he was crazy. No, he was merely joining the long line of entrepreneurs. See Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. These are all people who have ties to the military-industrial complex. Their families have ties to this. These aren't people that just came up with these ideas. It just doesn't work like that. Who believe that we will one day manage our machines with our thoughts. Now, we notice how they talk about it, right? I wanted to show you all a couple of articles where they're talking about this stuff, and we see how they talk about it. This is from the January 2nd, 2020, and they say, hey, one day, computers will be able to put brain waves into machines. We'll be able to read the mind and everything, but it's going on now. It's been going on since after World War II. They've been scaling up the technology and perfecting it. It has been going on for so long. It's been going on for so long, and then you guys in chat, me, we've been tortured for years and years and years and years and years and years with reading and writing to our brain going on, torture to our body and everything like that. And then when you hear anybody talking about mind reading or anything that frequencies affecting the brain, one day they're getting there, right? And that's complete conditioning. It's you know, that's mass mind control. That's this mass lie in society where people talk about this stuff in the future. It even gets to me sometimes. I'm like, oh, one day people are going to be chipped and stuff. Oh wait, no, we are. We all, a lot of targeted individuals have implants, and then they're putting crap in our food, the chemtrails and everything like that, that works basically as implants. You're going straight through the blood-brain barrier to the brain on neural networks, and then they can you know, read and write to the brain with frequencies there. So let's talk about. Hey Nicholas, man, how you doing? Hey Drunken Ninja. Drunken Ninja says, sup Kyle, sup everyone. Nothing much, man, just hanging in there. Nicholas Hamlin says, military industrial complex invented and is using us as experimentation guinea pigs. However, it is a good thing that they come to the public market. Then they have visibility. It still scares me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't see how this thing can keep going the way it is so intensely on us, because we're seeing all these things blossoming in the consumer markets and medical you know, medical breakthroughs and everything. It's time for this to really change. It's been kind of changing a little bit along the way, but our torture hasn't, and it's just time for this to change. There's no way you can have people you know, knowing about frequencies where they can mess with their computer or whatever by putting on some kind of head thing, and then people being tortured with those same frequencies, and then that just keep going along, right? I guess the crazy thing is society is so insane, and people just do what they're told and don't really and don't look into anything that nightmare could happen, where all this technology comes out from the torture, and then the torture's still going on. I guess that's a fear of a lot of us, you know. Hey, Hash74 says, sucks, but disclosure is good, so people will believe our problem is possible. Yeah, anything. We just need something. We just need, even though the UN is corrupt as crap, we just need them to say something. We need them to have a subsection or section on it, and then we can open up that door. Once they talk about it, anybody who says, oh, why are you so special? Or, oh, no, they couldn't be doing that, we can just shut them down. Oh, really? Okay, so Drunken Ninja says they are using infrasonic waves on mine 100%. So just that, you think? Are you sure, though? Yeah, with me, they're just using a bunch of stuff. They use a lot of different frequencies for a lot of different protocols. I'm pretty sure it's not just infrasonic with me, because they hit my body with microwaves and cook it. And then, you know, they'll even blister the skin around my ears. So I don't know if that's infrasonic. Is infrasonic microwaves? I know infrasonic's on the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah, MT Cali 70 says the UN Parliament looks like the Tower of Babel. Do any of you guys know what day it's going to be? I guess we went through that. I'm gonna go through everything with a fine-tooth comb this week and see. Okay. Oh, you're saying they definitely use infrasonic. Yeah, I'd agree with you. I would agree with you. Ultrasonic and infrasonic. You remember that MIT article where it's like they're creating an electromagnetic field remotely around the head. Then they're using No, they're using infrasonic. I think it said ultrasonic and infrasonic frequencies to mechanically affect the brain neurologically, right? To mechanically affect neurons. So you're probably right. Infrasonic, but is it infrasonic and ultrasonic are like on the electromagnetic spectrum, right? So we know that they use like radio frequency, microwaves, infrasonic, ultrasonic. They use all these things, and depending on what your protocol is, what they're trying to find out, on one person, they may be using an electromagnetic field around the head and then an infrasonic beam straight to the brain. On another person, they might be just doing specifically like microwaves to the inner ear from the outside to go to the brain. It's like there's different protocols for how to get this crap to our brain, right? I wish we'd get some more, like some more concrete documents on exactly what they use and what protocol. I need more concrete stuff. Hey, Ann, I got a bunch of your emails. I'm going to show some of the stuff you sent me on some videos. And Ann says, devotee people using the tech, in my opinion. What is that? What's a devotee, Ann? What is that? Oh, really, Rosa? A DARPA-funded implantable biochip to detect COVID-19 could hit markets by 2021. I told, where's that article? I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all? I said they're gonna something, it's gonna be like, oh, we can, I told y'all, implantable biochip. And I wouldn't be they're not implanting it in the brain, right? But just having a biochip, because a biochip can send signals to the brain and can receive signals from the brain, even if it's somewhere else in the body. Oh, I hate this stuff. Oh, you didn't send me an email, Ann? Another Ann sent me an email. Oh. Oh, yeah, I was just wondering what a devotee was. Devotee. Okay. Nicholas says, the Navy Yard shooter who was involved in the program, when they turned on him and targeted him, scratched into his rifle, "This is my ELF weapon," before unloading on all of them perps, satanic perps. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you sent me those emails. It's another Ann, I guess, that sent me some emails. Okay. So the quest to meld mind and machine dates back to at least the 1970s. Nope. So it'd be in World War II, probably, when scientists began in earnest to drill into people's skulls and implant the first brain-to-computer interface, and that was probably before 1970. But then they did have something in the public probably in the 1970s saying, yeah, we're drilling into people's skulls who, they're completely gone and they have these neurological disorders that can't correct, and so we're going to go ahead and just destroy. Implant the first brain-computer interfaces, electrodes that translate brain cell activity into data. Electrodes that translate brain cell activity into data. So if you think about Tesla, right? I mean, this is obvious stuff, right? But you've got electricity that can pass through the air. It's Wi-Fi, microwave, radio, electromagnetic frequency. If you have something, an electrode that can get a signal from a brain, well, why can't you do something? If you can send a remote signal, a phone can get a signal, why can't you do that to a brain, right? And this is all common sense stuff. We know it's going on. I get into this rut where I'm just trying to this couldn't happen. The brain is a receiver. The brain is an actual receiver of electromagnetic frequency, and people have to learn that. So BCIs can regulate tremors from Parkinson's disease and restore some basic movement. I got a bug in front of it. In people with paralysis, but they are still surgically implanted and still quite experimental. See, they're experimental in the medical community because they're trickling some of that stuff out. But the stuff that the military-industrial complex is doing in every country is extremely advanced. That could cure people. Like they could send frequencies to our brain that made our nervous system feel better, that made us feel happier, that made us feel more healthy, that made our brain produce more serotonin. many great things, right? Can cure people, but instead, at least on us, at least on the target individuals on my channel, they're torturing us, they're destroying the nervous system, they're destroying the brain. Okay, so, but they are still surgically implanted and still quite experimental, blah, blah, blah. They've been doing remote brain manipulation since after World War II, and it's become very, very advanced where now it's just remote. So no, you don't have to have anything implanted or anything like that. Even so, the likes of Musk already envision a future where we all have chips in our brains, and they'll replace our need for keyboards, mouses, touch screens, joysticks, steering wheels, and more. Of course, that won't happen anytime soon. The mysteries of the mind remain vast, and implanting hardware in healthy brains, well, forget about that, at least until the FDA deems it safe, light years away, right? Why isn't the FDA saying anything about oh yeah, that's right, because it's like top secret worldwide experimentation on people's brains and bodies, right? But then we talk about this and consumer products, and it's like the FDA needs to get in there and check out all this stuff because it could really hurt somebody, right? It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, Devotee. Devotee says, I'm not sure, but some preachers know the truth of what is happening, like Gary McAuliffe. He's on YouTube. Perhaps he can help you. Yeah, MT Cali 70 says, but since the government wants to get the population down to under 500 mil, why would they want to heal us? Yeah. Yeah, they want to get everybody gone. They want to toxify everybody. They want to poison everybody so we don't think as quickly, right? And then we can be controlled or killed, right? And that's what the top of the pyramid wants. Just, public awareness. It's at a certain point. It has to change these things. It has to change it to where it's like, oh, you want to torture a child or a family 24 hours a day and do psychic driving and V2K and destroy their nervous system. Enough of the world has to know at some point so that is shut down, or at least if it happens, that we can get help, right? I just feel like it's getting closer and closer with all these technologies that people can see. Look, this can read the mind. Your brain can control a computer. Other things where the little toy, right? You got the little toy. There's more serious stuff, but right, just an example, you got the little toy that's like you have the ball and you can kind of control it with your brain. All this stuff is just, everybody should know. It can help. Yeah, Tanya says cooling gel pads help. I would say that's like the biggest thing. If you have nothing like to defend with and you're in emergency mode, put cooling gel packs and drink cold water. Drink a lot of cold water, because if you can get your body temperature down, everything your attackers are trying to do to you will not work as well. It'll still work, but your body has to be at a pretty high temperature. So in the meantime, a wave of companies is betting on bringing mind control light to the masses. No, we've got mind control heavy that's being done by the Pentagon and contractors and agencies under them, and then in other countries like that. And it's mind control heavy, murdering people, changing their personalities really bad, destroying their lives, isolating them. So could we talk about that instead of these little trinkets that the military industrial complex is kind of trickling out into these startup companies and stuff like that? I get so mad when I read this stuff. Wait, where was I? That's where Cooter comes in. His startup, NextMind, makes a non-invasive neural interface that sits on the back of one's head, right? And translates brainwaves into data that can be used to control compatible software. So I'm showing you guys this because we're talking about human operators, right? Now I've got human operators on mine. Most of the V2K is completely automated now. But they have these things, right? They have these things you can put on people's heads, right? And that's what our human operators, or chip in the ear or whatever. And then they're connected to integrated directed energy weapon system, integrated neuro weapon systems. Their brain waves go to the system. System modulates, then pumps it back out through satellite to tower, satellite to radar, whatever, and then it goes to your head, and you can feel what your attackers are feeling or smell what they're smelling or things like that, right? So, and this is just one consumer product that, you know, is trickling out due to those things that they're practicing while torturing us to death. Nicholas says ELF waves can be generated with many other frequencies. It's called head. You have one antenna pulsing at 15 megahertz and another one at 15.2 megahertz. They would mix and create two hertz. And so, Nicholas, you know, do they? That's what I was thinking. They create the electromagnetic field around our head with, like, so they're heterodyning ELF frequencies, and then it's creating a field around the head. Then they maybe have another stream of energy that's infrasonic, like you know, like Drunken Ninja was saying, infrasonic or scalar or photonic, that goes straight to the brain through that electromagnetic field, right? I guess I need to look up that MIT article. I don't want to look it up right now. I don't want to look it up right now, but we know some of the protocols that are coming out in the medical industry of manipulating the human brain, right? And it came from many years of torture, so we can make some deductions from that, right? We can't prove it's the only thing that they're doing, but we can make some pretty good deductions. The possibilities are endless. So Kudir, I don't know how to say his name. Kudir's vision begins with simple tasks: sending text messages with a thought, calling up a specific photo in your camera roll with passing thoughts, and ends somewhere close to science fiction, controlling every device in our world, like the Sorcerer and Fantasia. This is real, he said on stage at Slush, and the possibility. And all the people who this stuff is being experienced, like they're using it and torturing them to get all these consumer products and military applications and medical applications. It's very real for us. It's not science fiction. It's too bad that the rest of the world who hasn't been directly affected by us, you know, this is science fiction, and we're apparently mentally ill, even with articles like this, even with consumer products with this, even like things like the MIT article, things that are concrete data, even with things like what Elon Musk is putting out, we're still mentally ill, right? I'm being a little bit negative, you know, want things to be changing, but I think the problem is, like, I've seen things change over a long period of time, but then it's like we're still being tortured, and that's the biggest change that, you know, that's what we need to affect. The only thing that I've got to change the intensity of our torture is defenses. That's it. I mean, that's it for now. And I would not wait for this thing to be over. You know, y'all have heard my spiel on all that. Nicholas says this could technically be done at any frequency. 17 hertz specifically causes fear, and the biological wants to run, which is what area denial systems are based on. Yeah, Nicholas. And with me, it's like they'll do remote neural manipulation, stimulate the vagus nerve, then the vagus nerve stimulated in a certain way gives me that fight or flight feeling, which is adding to the other remote neural manipulation. That's one of the things, is we all have these kind of different protocols, different things in our body that they're manipulating. So it's like some people, it's like, who maybe don't get vagus nerve stimulation, they're just doing straight up remote neural manipulation to give them fight or flight. With me, it's like they're putting some other stuff on top of it. And individuals. Jerusha McBair says just severe sweats. I get more, it's like with me, it's like my nervous system, it's like it feels like my endocrine system has been worn out, and then my nervous system in my head is burning, but not, my skin doesn't really sweat a lot. It's more what's happening on the inside of my body and my nervous system. I get really, I'll tell you what though, I get really cold sometimes when it's not, I get like in shock. Like I get put in shock. And like if I take a bath and I get out of the bath, I have to really dry off quick because it's so cold, so cold. So with me, it's a little bit different. They're doing something in my body where it's like almost putting it into shock all the time. And I feel real cold. I feel like I can't get my temperature off. They're just doing so many weird things to my nervous system, you know. Going the non-surgical route comes with some trade-offs, namely all that skin and bone between your soggy brain and any device that's trying to read the neural signals it emits. On the other hand, it's cheaper, it's safer, and it's much easier to iterate or push software updates when you don't need to open someone's head. And for all the promise of BCIs, people first need to see that this stuff can be useful at all. For that, devices like NextMinds do the trick. Oh, hey, that's pretty interesting, right? NextMind, and then there's this show coming out. I'm doing a video on that. There's so many videos I want to do, guys. I just haven't had energy at all. There's this show. Have you seen this show, guys? It's called Next. It's called Next. And it's the guy, it's Tony Stark's dad. That's how I remember it from the Marvel movies. And they are, that's the actor who plays this guy. And this AI gets control of the city, right? And the AI is following around and messing up equipment and everything. I need to show that because it's kind of like gang stalking. It's like this AI is stalking these people and they have to shut it down. So weird, like so weird, the things that are coming out. It's like, reality is meshing with the movies and predictive programming, like Black Mirror, this show, a bunch of other things. It's like they're just putting things that they're already in our society. They're making shows about them as science fiction. Hey, thank you, Samia. I'm praying for you too, guys. I've been praying for y'all the whole time. I've been just trying to think about what I can do. What, you know, it gets to a part of learned helplessness where I'm just like, I don't know what's going to fix this. It's a global torture program. We got to hang on this UN thing, see where that gets us, and then, you know, get to a certain point where it's like maybe, you know, well, somebody told me we need to sign up. Like I haven't signed up for the targeted justice class action suit the whole time. Like I just haven't done it, and I need to do that. Get in there with them. I need to get on the ball, right? Because I've been just trying to get away from it. I hate talking about this stuff while I'm going through it. I need to get in there more, know what's going on, so we can kind of push forward no matter what happens. No matter what happens this week. I think it's this week that the UN report's being read. Tanya says, I do not trust doctors. Yeah, no TI, trust doctors. I've met some pretty good ones, but the good doctors that I've met are very green. They're new, you know, they haven't been in the system long, and they really can't help me much. They're good people. I don't think they'd screw me over, but they're very green, right? Those doctors that have been in the system for a long time won't help us. Lee Arthur says, yes, Kyle, they make me freeze. Yeah, it's like they'll make me feel like I'm in shock and I can't get warm enough. I guess we went to this. I wanted to show you all something that I was doing positive. My mind's just not organized. So for that, devices like NextMinds do the trick. I had a chance to try out the NextMind device during a demo in December, a few weeks after Cutier gave his slush talk. He had taken a flight from Paris to San Francisco and carried the device casually in his bag. It weighs 60 grams, about as much as a kiwi fruit, and bears a passing resemblance to flattened TIE Fighter. So that's the device that that actually runs the signals. The NextMind device is basically an electroencephalogram, or EEG, which is used to record electrical activity in the brain. And that's what they use, fMRI, functional resonance imaging, electroencephalogram. There's so many different things they can do to get electrical signals from the brain, and then they've done it so much, right? And especially with the experimentation they've done on us, they've done it so much that even if they're remote neural manipulating somebody from the first time, if they have a thought about an elephant, they have that thought, that kind of EEG matched up with what an elephant is, right? So they've been doing this so long, it's just like the automated systems and the AI can match up with what somebody's thinking, right? They're scaling up and manufacturing and developing these systems so that even if they remote neural manipulate a brain that they've never haven't remote neural monitored or anything like that, right? Haven't remote neural monitored a new brain, that whatever that brain's thinking, they've got the AI has gone through so many brains that it can just whatever they're thinking, right? And that's one of the things they've been doing this whole time. I have no doubt that if they just hook into somebody they'd never hooked into, and that person started thinking, they would have that they wouldn't even have to compare it to a list or anything. The AI would automatically pop that up on the integrated directed energy weapon system as what the person is thinking, because they've been doing it to so many people for so long. So he has a lab in Paris. Oh, look at this. The NextMind device is basically a dressed-up electroencephalogram, or EEG, which is used to record electrical activity in the brain. It's not so different from the tools QD used as a professor of neuroscience before he ran NextMind. So he's a professor of neuroscience. What a great like, he's a professor of neuroscience. He should have been able to invent something that can read signals from the brain, right? BS. BS. This guy is connected to the military-industrial complex. They trickle out these technologies to startup companies and medical people that are cooperating with them. Studies of consciousness. In a hospital setting, EEGs often require the use of gel and some skin preparation, but recently researchers have developed functional dry electrodes that only require contact with the skull. The NextMind device uses these, and then we know as target individuals, they don't need that. Because look, I got nothing on me. I got these noise-canceling hearing aids, which have nothing to do, like, it's not helping my attackers, it's trying to fight this back. My attackers are, I hear the V2K, I got a ringing, mostly it's worse here, but I got ringing on both sides, kind of. And look, they're sending, I just heard the woman said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to talk, I don't want to say what they're saying, but you know, so I don't need anything on my head, and I don't need an implant. I may have an implant in my nasal cavity, right? But I don't need that. I don't think they would, you know, they don't need that. But this is my question. I always wonder, I'm like, do I? Yeah, and I think that I do. I think that we all have a bunch of nanotechnology in us. Jerusha McBair says, last night I had the nerve from my left shoulder down my left arm into my fingers suddenly started shooting the most intense electricity. It was literally making some of my fingers move involuntarily. Yeah, I used to get it where they would move my hand, like they'd make me pick up a pillow and hit myself. They don't do so much of that, but they'll like with the remote neural manipulation, it's stimulation down the spine and like all up in the head, like really it feels like it's coming from the center of the head, but then down my back and stuff. And then these two fingers will go numb. They'll go numb for weeks. Right now I can kind of feel a little bit, but they'll go numb a lot. Yeah, stuff really sucks. Hey, and anybody with a channel, any targeted individual with a channel, I called out Alan Nielsen Brewer. He has some good videos. Anybody else who's a targeted individual with a channel, you can promote your YouTube channel in here, so some other targeted individuals can go to it. Yeah, SHP says, yep, the weapons will kill many. The weapons have killed many. They've already killed a lot of people. So many targeted individuals have died. You know, I mean, I want to say it's impossible not to see this as a war. This is a war. I mean, this is a war. We're fighting for our survival. We're fighting for our lives. I had people like Linda and other targeted individuals who have died. And so, you know, I'm just like, we've got to get through this. There's got to be a way we can get out of this. Building up, the awareness is building up, but we hit it's not even a glass ceiling. It's a mafia. We live in a where it's like, oh, you think some directed energy weapon mind control stuff is going on, and the person's like, no, I don't think that. No, those people are crazy. All right, we'll let you live. You know, everything in our society now, because the top of the pyramid, the servant usually starts to look like the master, right? So you got these, presidents who are just on strings, right? Who are just puppets on strings, and it's a mafia town. You're going to talk about what we want you to talk about, and then you can stay safe. You can have your little life. If you're talking about anything we want to keep covered up so we can keep murdering people, you're going to have a problem. We're going to murder your family. We're going to do something bad to you, right? We live in a mafia world. We live in a mafia empire. So it's not justice or compassion or anything. All in it, like I think about how tough this is and how impossible it seems. I'm just like, for all that we've gone through, right, guys? Every targeted individual, listen to me for a second. For all that we've gone through and all the people that we've lost and how much all of this has taken away from us, we've gotta get something good out of this. We've got to be strong. We cannot let this end like this. We just cannot let this end like this. Gotta make Linda's death worth something. We gotta make everyone. Was it Elmira? Elmira, make her death worth something. I always want to call her Elvira. Is it Elvira her name? Alan says, I agree, Tanya. I wonder how many TIs died during opioid crisis. Imagine years of dues, pain, experimentation, needing pain meds, then cutting them off. Yeah. That's what, like, I know a lot of targeted individuals take painkillers because you just get to get through it. But for my route, I was like, I'd taken painkillers after my surgery for getting a foot of my colon out. And I got addicted to them. And really didn't take them too much after the pain stopped. But I was like, dude, with this, I was like, I can't do that. I have to find something a little bit more maintainable, like kratom, blah, blah, blah. But I know a lot of targeted individuals take painkillers. To be honest with you guys, I think taking painkillers like all the time for this stuff, it's going to make things way worse as you go along. That's my honest opinion. If somebody disagrees, you can put it in chat. But with painkillers, it thins your myelin sheath, right? When you smoke or when you do painkillers, it's affecting your nervous system, so it's like thinning your myelin sheath, and that means it's more sensitive to signals from your brain, and it's more sensitive to remote neural manipulation. Just be careful with those things. I'm not saying anything because I take Ativan, I'm taking Neurontin. Those things too can be non-maintainable over long periods of time. But we got to be careful because I don't think the Neurontin is thinning the myelin sheath on your nerves. But just be careful with that stuff because it can get a lot worse. Hey, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty says, hi, Kyle, Ninja, Tanya, Nicholas, Allen, and everyone. XOXO. XOXO back. Yeah, Tanya says, my father did not like pain meds. He was heavy tortured, microwave weapons. I love painkillers. My grandma doesn't like them. My mom doesn't like them. If they need them, they don't take them. I love them because I like when I had my stomach surgery, I could just be like, oh wow, it's like my nervous system feels normal, no pain, I feel comfortable, and I know if I got some painkillers now, I'd feel a lot better for a while. It seemed like the Neuron, I could do it a low dose. A low dose, it could have a big effect, right? Because it's shutting down your nerve, it's cutting your nervous system off from what they're doing. It's changing your brain frequency and your nervous system, right? And I don't know how to explain this scientifically, but Neurontin is kind of toning your nervous system down, and then whatever your attackers are doing, it's maybe at 10%, maybe at 10%, and you can take a very low dosage. Hey, Truth, what's up, man? Truth says, hey, Kyle. Yeah, Tanya says, SHB, I'm sick of these monsters killing my whole family, crying sad for all TIs around the world. Me too. I don't know what to think or feel anymore, guys. I'm just like, survive, try and help my family as much, try and help y'all. Like, even when I think about all the people that have died, it's just burnt my soul. It has burnt my soul. but I know that we've got to do some. I mean, there's possibility. There's all these possibilities of good things coming up. Yeah, yeah. SHP says, there we go. Hey, Tanya, I am so tired. They've been dumping in sleeping radio frequencies, I think. We are all passing out for hours every day now. Yeah, they can easily do that. They can make you just so tired you can't stay up at all. So let's read a little bit more of this, guys, and then I want to show y'all something I've been doing. Maybe some of you guys can try it. I don't think there's any danger to it at all. It's very mild, and it's something where I've been waking up. It's quicker to recover when I wake up, but I'll show y'all that next. So he's talking about the gel you put on, then you put on this head thing. But I basically just wanted to show y'all this because I wanted to, you know, if this stuff is coming out logically, and then we're talking about human operators, right? So it's a logical connection there. Let's see, on a laptop, QD walk calibration exercise to create my neural profile. In essence, how my visual cortex lit up in response to my eyes focusing on specific things. I followed a series of flashing triangles around the screen. You only have to do this once and only for a couple of minutes. The NextMind device is designed to work on anyone, but it works faster when someone has had practice, right? Because it's calibrating that person's brain. QDeer says it's about a neural feedback loop. You guys hear that? It's about a neural feedback loop. When I focus on that, then that happens on the screen. It's a neural feedback loop. That pretty much says what this targeting is all about. Well, probably except for the external hits, but even the external hits can be amplified, right, by that neural feedback loop that your attackers are working on every day to make your nervous system hurt more, to be more in conjunction with your brain, doing things to your brain. That neural feedback loop they're trying to cycle up. So to cut that cycle is so important. Yeah, True Serum says, what y'all talking about, Blacklist? Yeah, the thing with Blacklist is that in real life, they know where everybody is at. Oh yeah, they know where every person is. Samia says, Kyle, have you heard of this new technology called iCognitive? Police investigators, etc., are going to catch many of these evildoers and put them behind bars. I got to look it up, Samia. Some of the police are really either participating though at higher levels, or they're pretty much powerless at lower levels though. And maybe if they could get some backing from the UN, if a bigger fish could step in and kind of muddy up the water to where then some of the people who don't like what's happening with this can step up, right? I just think it's been happening along the way. Everything's built up. Everything's kind of built up, and we just got to crash through that wall. At least that's what I'm hoping. And then if not, what we've got to do, because there's this thing where none of us really know how this is going to go, right? And I can't say exactly like, well, this is going to end in a month or something. So I want to just say it again, guys, and you got to find some defenses that can tone it down, that can get you at a little bit of a homeostasis. If something doesn't work, you got to, look for other things. I'm going to be trying to do more of that, but I've kind of got my stuff, working to at least not have to go, at least not die, at least not die or completely not be able to talk anymore, Yeah, war crimes, definitely. Tanya says we all have to keep talking about what is happening to us. War crimes, yes, very serious war crimes. Let me show you all this real quick. Let's see if there's anything else really. I'm going to put this in the description, guys. So neural profile generated. So we're using some of these words, right? When does this article came out? In 2020. you know, all of us have a neural profile, right? Our attackers, our human operators, automated equipment, we've got a neural profile. They've got like, when we think of something in a visual cortex, the system, the AI can put it out on the screen because of our neural profile, how we think. I was ready to play some games. And good, you're going to play some games with this. It's going to be really cool for video games. You're going to be able to interact. This stuff. It's just so depressing that it's like everybody can stomach any kind of new technology as long as it's like cool and safe and fun and it's going to make their life convenient. But then when you've got somebody who's being hurt by that technology, or there's something that's, you know, it's a little bit out of everybody's wheelhouse, right? In the public, it shouldn't be. But people just deny that. It's too scary. No, that's not happening. But oh, this neural lace, it's going to just make our brains so much better. We're going to read each other's minds. It's all going to be safe and convenient. And the people at the top of the pyramid aren't going to try and like look at people's brains or change people's thoughts so they can get them to think or vote for who they want them to vote for. That's not going to happen. Okay, SHP, thanks for coming. SHP says, I'm going back to sleep. Kyle and all TIs, I pray for you in the world. Keep publishing, teach, inform. Kyle, let people know you are okay. You are a wonderful heart, and we worry about you. Thanks, SHP. Yeah, I thought people knew I was okay. It's only been about 3 weeks. I wasn't going to make it longer than a month. And I've been talking to some targeted individuals, so I thought everybody kind of knew I was okay. I guess I need to check in more often. Sleeping Beauty says it's effing organ harvesting. It is. It's organ. Well, I don't know if you're talking about something else, Sleeping Beauty, but where they're doing with my brain, our brains, right? It's like, I don't know if my brain's going to be useful unless this can get stopped soon, right? So it's like basically stealing my brain. It's harvesting the brain, and then destroying the body along with it. I don't know if you're talking about targeting or something else, but that really kind of connects there. That really connects. Yeah, Rachno Nixon says, I think a lot of ads with annoying quick flashing lights are doing that, monitoring our feedback. Yep. So many different angles of how they're mind controlling us all, conditioning us. But I wanted to show you all this because of the human operator factor and what's going on with us. And then we see BCI technologies and things that can fit on the head, or eventually they're probably gonna, in a couple more, maybe in a year or a couple more months, they'll have something, a chip in the ear that, and it brings me back. I guess I've been playing a lot of video games lately. There's this video game called Horizon, and she's like in this post-apocalyptic land where AI took over, right? So the game has a lot to do with what's going on with us. AI took over and everything like that. And she finds this, so she's kind of like in a caveman state, but she finds this technology from before the post-apocalypse, and it's this little thing that you put on your ear, right? And then you can see holograms or movies or whatever, right? So that video game, whoever made those video games, the Horizon video games, knew about the vestibular system and everything like that. And I heard this one guy, he was watching the video of the game, and he was like, so I guess she puts that on her ear and then she can see things with her eyes, right? And I was like, no, that makes a lot of sense, because her inner ear is the vestibular system. She puts this device on, sends a frequency in, and then she can see stuff that's not actually there, things that are recorded on this device. So we see predictive programming. You know, is it predictive programming anymore when it exists? So what is it? Can anybody tell me this in chat? What is it when something already exists in society, is being hidden, but then they're making movies about it? You know, what's that called? I guess it's still predictive programming. I do want to show you all this real quick. I have a couple more articles. I'm not sure how many I'm going to go through tonight, but let's see. But see, I want to show y'all. Okay, real quick before I do that, before I go to what I've been doing every night. I mean, when I go to sleep, like the defensive stuff. Let me stop the screen share, and I want to show y'all this. So that's, from Wired magazine, right? And that was from 2020. Wired. Control your computer and play video games with your brain from electromagnetic signals, right? They say electrical signals. So this is from Wired magazine from Gene Guerrero on so this great article where they say, yeah, these people are telling the truth. She figures out this, and then at the end saying, oh no, 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 Am I back? I'm back. I'm back. I didn't know because I was on an article on the other screen, and so I wasn't looking at my StreamYard, and so my attackers just cut me off. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm just popping up to say hi and read some stuff, and they're cutting into that. So Riptide, there's a lot of Riptide says, while we are waiting, does anyone have a reasonable explanation on why the frequency crap is coupled with the typical stalking tactics? What is the point of that stupidity? There's a lot to do with that because they want to do street theater where they know what somebody's going to do to you, and then they can work the remote neural manipulation in conjunction. Also, I mean, there's so many angles to the gang stalking. Also to discredit us, right? We tell somebody, hey, I'm being hit with frequencies. I'm getting hurt. I'm getting external microwave hits. They're messing with my head. I get ringing in my ears. Oh, and people are following me. So it discredits you, right? Also, we're fed to DHS fusion centers, InfraGard, those agencies, right? There's so many angles of why gang stalking is put in with this to isolate us. We feel more isolated. Like, so if I wasn't gang stalked and there was none of that, and I was just being attacked by these electromagnetic weapons, right? Remote neural manipulate me and everything like that. But then, like, I could just go out and everybody I met, I wasn't suspicious of that they're a gang stalker or something like that. This whole thing would be different. This whole thing would be, you'd feel more connected to people. You'd feel like you hadn't lost your connection. You're sick. You're dealing with this stuff, but you haven't lost your connection to society, right? This is a Rosette song. They're trying to burn down our lives. They're trying to isolate us, destroy our lives, destroy our minds, see what they can get us. They want us to act out, to do violent things, you know, feel like we've lost everything. So there's a lot of reasons for that. Drunken Ninja says, I don't get stalked or anything like that, but I clearly hear the government talking to me. Yeah. My gang stalking around my condo has not been bad lately because I've been here so long, but the vehicular stalking is just boom, right when I go out. And then if I go to Walmart or something like that, I'll usually have some people who get really close to me and stuff like that, do weird stuff. Hey, Karen. Karen says, Riptide, it's persecution because we're actually special. It's Satan's work. I agree. I agree. I agree. I talk about that, the Captain America movie where they're going to target everybody who could be a problem for Hydra, which are the bad guys. And I think that was basically a reveal of what a targeting program is. People who are outspoken, people who see things with a different perception, right? A lot of us, people who are non-compliant, people who are more connected to God, right? They want those people gone who can have some spiritual wisdom so that all the compliant people who are just kind of, you know, not that, you know, they don't even believe in God or whatever can just be controlled easily. Craig, don't. Craig says they want me to kill myself. Mine do too. They haven't been saying it on V2K lately, but like a couple of years ago, they were like, we're going to get him to commit suicide. We're going to get him to commit suicide. There's always something good in this world, even when you're in pain. You know, there's always positive, hopeful things ahead. Simple thing, right? A simple thing is the better you feel. The better you feel, the better the situation is going to look, right? Even if it's a really bad situation, if you feel better, you feel like you can do more, you can enjoy more, you can understand more, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I'm so like Dave Case's CD, noise canceling hearing aids, grounding. What else were we talking about? We need some good headgear to cover all of this, but I haven't figured it out. Great. Let me show y'all something real quick. You think so, Karen? Karen says they knew us in the womb. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's true. Karen says how many here are from generational targeting. Yeah, that's true. Hey, TIP man, how are you doing? I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there, brother. I hope everybody's doing okay. I don't know. Everything's just really bad. I mean, but life goes on. I mean, life goes on while we're being targeted. We've got, you know, I want to survive this. I want you guys to survive this. I want people's the target individuals who died for it to mean something. You know, like I don't know. We're gonna see this week. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if anything good happens this week. It just sucks, man. Sucks. Oh, Arachnonic says, I'm on my father's side, but my mother's side is involved in generational stalking. My family doesn't seem, they weren't involved in this, but I'm not sure if my dad wasn't targeted before me. I'm just not sure. NT Cali says, not me, but I'm sure more TIs are in military families, right? Not mine. Got no, I have my grandfather was a naval engineer in World War II. And then my dad was like in the reserves for Vietnam. But no, not a big military family. I know a lot of people, I've talked to some targeted individuals that do have military families. I like that. Karen says, we are never alone. God is with us and in our DNA. That's why we're targeted. I feel that too. I feel that connection to the divine, like a divine seed within me. Like, and what we really got to do, one thing, guys, we got to cleanse our pineal gland. We've got some things that our Creator has given us to feel more connected to the divine physically. After we lose this physical body, who knows what's going to happen, right? Go to heaven. But, you know, with the pineal gland, it picks up on some of these frequencies that could be divine. And I think there's other ways to get to God, but I think it's very important. It's very important to feel connected spiritually to clear out your pineal gland. Let me show you all one thing I've been doing that's kind of been helping. Actually, let me go back to this article real quick. I want to go back to the article from Wired, because they do a lot of articles on like how mind control is here and stuff like that. Talk about MK Ultra, but then that's crazy. It's like one of the saddest articles ever. Unconvinced, I found, okay, TIs believe MK Ultra was replaced with a more sophisticated CIA program using electromagnetic or radio wave technologies. I would say yes, I believe that, and we believe something like that, but it's not just done by the CIA. This has taken a global, hospitals, universities, contractors, more parts of the DoD, CIA, DIA, DARPA, Pentagon. It's not just the CIA. It's more of just the whole military industrial complex doing different protocols on people within that country. So it's not just the CIA. It's a lot bigger than that. Now, MK Ultra was just the CIA and some contractors, but then this is like CIA on crack and crack and PCP and everything like that. It's MK Ultra from afar on steroids. You know, it's a lot worse in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it's a lot worse than what some of the people are experiencing in MK Ultra. In some ways, it's better because some of those people is like, you know, their brains were destroyed in like a couple of sessions. Like, at least we've got a longer period of time, but it's remote, so we can't just get away from them and everything like that. So unconvinced. So this is the lady who wrote the article. She's unconvinced from her father. I filed a Freedom of Information Act request for any records about my father to the CIA, the FBI, and more, including a signed certification of identity from my father with authorization to release the information to me. Like, they're going to tell you, yeah, we're experimenting on your dad. And I didn't get anything back. I asked the CIA if they were torturing my father, and they said they didn't even know who he was. Dad, you're crazy. Like the CIA or the FBI would ever let you know what they're doing to somebody if it's torturing them and trying to mind control them? Crazy. When I analyze the voices my father described rather than discard them, I am struck by the parallels with the hyper-personalized messaging we all experience. The CIA agents' alleged surveillance parallels the web's tracking of our activity. Their commands echo invasive ads. How often have hidden players on the web influenced our behavior by shouting or whispering in our ears? Russian interference in the 2016 election is yet another example of the... What? Who wrote this article? What is that crap? of the far-reaching power of AI-based messaging affecting not only our consumer choices, but also the integrity of our democracy. Cambridge Analytica. I wanted to just read the end where she kind of comes to her conclusion. Oh man, this is such a long article. I'll put it in the description so you guys can read it. I didn't really prepare for this because I'm just hanging out with you guys. Okay, but O'Brien hypothesizes that far too many self-described TIs affirming rather than escaping their victimization is the goal. You know, that makes me so mad. And that's what people say. They say we're in an echo chamber. I don't know. I think we're getting past those just awful lies of like we're in an echo chamber. And it's like when something's happening to you, you got something that's really happening to you that's so heavy. And then you got somebody that's not happening to that wants to disprove it. And they're like, it seems like you're not interested in getting over your mental illness. Well, the problem is it's not mental illness and it's people torturing me and experimenting on me, so it doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped. And that's why it's not stopping. It's not that I don't want to not deal with my mental illness. It's just that the torture keeps going on, right? And so these people do a straw man argument of it seems like these people don't want to get better. We have no choice. There are people attacking us, shooting microwaves at us, like reading and writing to the brain, remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation. Now we can defend and shave off a couple of percentages or get a little bit more comfortable, which some defenses don't work for people. But like the straw man argument of like, you just don't want to get better. Yeah, if any of these people who said that kind of stuff, why are you so sweet? If they ever had to go through this for one day, they would literally, like, that's why they don't pick any of those pieces of poo that are just, you know, compassionless, just awful people. They don't pick any of those people because they know that they wouldn't have much time with them. So let's see, you know, it feels like because this article was about her father, she was very double-minded, but ends up saying, yeah, he's mentally ill, but a lot of these technologies do exist. So let me read the conclusion. I just thought this was an interesting article. I think y'all should read it. But it's from a long time ago, and since then, and since Wired was writing articles about targeted discrediting us. Now they're writing all these articles about the new technology that's coming out because of our. Am I cut off again? Can you guys see me? My computer's freezing up. Let's see. I want to get to at least that one more thing, that the good thing that I'm doing that can help y'all, and I'll make a short video about it too, because I really think it can help some of you guys. It's been helping me a lot. I don't know if my attackers are going to let me stay on here for long. What I got there? And that's kind of cool. I can just put my articles up there. Oh, that's neat. Ooh, ooh. Let me show you guys. I want to close this. No, I want to read this. Okay, wait. Let me read the conclusion. Sorry about this, guys. I kind of got to get back into this. Yeah, I wasn't very organized when I was doing this a lot, right? Y'all are pretty used to it by now. I didn't realize that what I needed was not eternity, but freedom from the story of immortality. We were never meant to be gods, or at least not gods in the way we envision them. We're just all-knowing and all-powerful. If we continue to delude ourselves into believing that, our destiny lies in knowledge and power. We will become slaves of the gods that we create. Oh, I agree with that. Okay, she's saying some good things in this article, but she still doesn't believe her dad. And where's her conclusion? So she blames the drinking, the drugs, but usually they do target a higher percentage of people who have been an alcoholic or used drugs, because then that's a way to discredit them. Oh, you did drugs, you did that, that's why, right? So everything they're doing is to mimic mental illness, but also they pick a lot of people who can be discredited. Like even for me, you know, I was smoking weed a lot. So that's one thing, and my parents knew I was smoking weed. So it went overt. My parents knew I was smoking weed, and probably my parents were like, he's going through so much pain, and he has, you know, Crohn's disease, and he's just, you know, he's just lost it. You know, but now my mom is pretty serious about this, but she's a little bit like feels bad. And you know, she feels bad because it's real, and the whole time she was trying to figure out if it was real. Okay, yeah, Jonathan Cushing says, Kyle, everybody, can I ask a question about Kratom? Yeah, sure, Jonathan. What's your question, man? Jonathan says, it seems as though I have to change stores that I go to. I have arthritis because as I go, they seem to follow me, and eventually, if I keep frequenting a certain local, they spike and poison me. Yeah. What do you, oh, you need to figure out some of the gang stalking. You know, if you're going out and you're going to a store, or if you're going to a restaurant, you know, make sure you know the people at the restaurant who own that. But I would literally, if you feel like your stuff's getting spiked and poisoned and stuff like that, I would go to the grocery store. I'd get some cans of food. I'd get some one serving things from the microwave. I'd get some cold drinks or little teas, one serving teas, right? Get one serving things that you can control that, right? And then when you go out, don't drink anything that's not closed. Don't get anything open, right? So just do those tactics where you're in control of what you eat and drink, and it's closed up. And even if it's in your fridge, it's not something that's open. And I know some people with families who are targeted, it's hard. You got to make big amounts of food for your, you know, your whole family. But if you're, I mean, if you don't have to take care of family, then the microwave foods like what the Red Baron pizzas, there's these really good shrimp tai pei things that you can get that are one serving that are really good. They're out of them at my grocery store. What, like, you know, Chinese bowls, the chicken stuff, beans, chili, beefaroni, those little yogurt things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Get some soups that come in those little plastic container things. Really, really watch that if you feel like people are spiking your stuff. And do all the cleansing stuff. Go to Look Out for Charlie's channel, and then you know, so take boron. You're going to need to take boron to cleanse out. Zeolite, boron, zeolite are two good. Potassium iodide doesn't really detoxify from like any kind of toxins, but it will from the non-ionizing microwave radiation. Hey, thank you, Tanya. Tanya says, sending love to your parents, Kyle. I'm thinking soon, when all this stuff kind of goes down at the UN, we'll see how it goes. But I might be able to get my mom on a video, and she can just kind of talk about how she thinks about this. She's targeted, but she's not going to admit it, and they do it subtly, right? They don't give her V2K and stuff. They mess with her back. They mess with her back, and they give her headaches and stuff like that. So I don't know. This was an okay article, but she comes to the conclusion that her dad is still mentally ill, and it's, you know, I think mostly it's not mostly because she can't imagine this happening. It's mostly because he drank and did drugs in his past. Fears of surveillance and manipulation in the world should motivate people to change it. According to O'Brien, self-agency lies not in the TI's delusions of persecution, which they're not. They're not delusions. This is so sick, and it's a new world. Like, anybody who's not a TI on this video, please spread that around. It is a new normal. It's been a new normal long before this pandemic, and they've been murdering people. And if it's out of sight, out of mind, the military-industrial complex does not care. It will destroy families. It will experiment on people nonstop. And the AI is so good that they don't have to have people sitting there the entire attention. If they are sitting there monitoring things, they don't have to be doing things. The AI is so good. So this is true stuff. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go over. Mike sent me this psychiatrist guy who's pretty big on YouTube. He's talking about targeted individuals. Then there's this other guy on YouTube who is, and they're discrediting us, right? They're saying, oh, I didn't really look into this. They're like, I didn't really research this, but let me just hypothesize what's going on here. Like a bunch of people are saying they're being tortured by microwaves and their brains are being messed with, and you got all this proof, and you didn't really look into it. You kind of hypothesize be going on here due to the according to the what's it called? What's the psychological thing? The psychological I can't remember what's it called, guys? What was that? It's not the DMV. The DMV is the DMV. What's that thing called? Yeah, NT Cali says silent weapons for quiet wars. I can't remember what it's the psychological handbook, the psychiatrist handbook. What's the psychiatrist? The DS. Thank you, Riptide. The DS, dude. That is remote neural manipulation. So I've talked about the DSM like a million times. I think there's even a DSM, like Jerusha McBear says DSM-4. But basically this, okay, so Mike sent me this, I think he's a psychologist. He must be a psychologist. But he's saying, I didn't look into this stuff. I watched a couple of targeted individual videos, and he tried to find targeted individual videos where they didn't have any proof, where they were just giving their testimony, right? And then he came up with his hypothesis. So I want to show you all that. I want to show you all how hypocritical and dishonest that is. Not tonight, probably not tonight. But I want, and the thing about it is, even though he's saying, oh, these people are mentally ill, a lot of these bigger YouTubers, this is becoming a bigger topic. This is becoming a bigger topic, so people feel like, oh, we've got to say what we think about it. Because obviously on YouTube, nobody's going to research anything. They're going to get on their YouTube channel and just say what they kind of think about it, right? You know, I want to show you all those. There's like 2 videos. We'll do a live stream just looking at that. I think I said this on another video. Somebody was like, don't even bother with those people. We need to just move forward. But when I listen to, they're kind of smart. They haven't looked into anything, and then they're just trying to put forward these straw man arguments. Then we can go through and I can say, no, listen, this is what's going on. And then it can give you guys a good idea if somebody else says it out there, right? So I feel like when people are just like, hey, I didn't look into this at all. I looked up some targeted individuals on YouTube, but I made sure that I found some that weren't putting any documents up or anything like that. I don't want that. I don't want that, because then I'd have to look into that. And then I just want to give you my hypothesis about like why these people are delusional and what could be going on, right? Like the guy thinks that he's being responsible. He's done a lot of other topics, right? I really need to show you all this before I talk all about it. But it's like, oh, he's a good guy. He's talking about this stuff. But he is like people who are dying, being tortured. He's like, yeah, they're delusional, and they just need to decide that they want to heal. And you got some really good people out there who are just, they don't know about this stuff, and they literally, they're just like, they're mentally ill, and they need to, and they are, it's evil. It's evil that they're doing that they don't even know that they're doing, right? And I would say that's the biggest percentage of what we're dealing with in this crazy new world order. This world, they're weaponizing people who, if the people were given all the information at their disposal and the truth, they would not do the evil things that they end up doing without information, you know. TIP says, Kyle, you get bad sleep deprivation. No, we were talking about that earlier, TIP. I don't. I get, like, I can get to sleep because of Ativan, and then my attackers will hypnotize me, direct dream, psychic drive me while I'm sleeping, but I do get sleep. I get sleep because I'm not getting REM sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep, and then, like, my sleep's not right? My sleep, it's not working right. I wake up and I'm still tired, you know, all day long. But okay, so that's a good question, TIP, because I want to show y'all something that could help you. especially with you guys who have V2K. You feel like you feel like you're being hypnotized and trained. You don't feel like yourself. You feel really negative. You feel like your brain's being pushed into a lot of negative corners, right? And it's been happening so long for me. At the beginning, the first couple of years of my over torture, I was like, oh man, I don't need my brain, blah, blah. But after so long of every night, it got to where I had to do something. Now this can, it's not going to be like this fixing everything. Let me show you all this before my attackers cut me off, if they do. Just weird how when I make the title of the video, my attacker, let me tell you guys stuff before my attackers cut off my video. They won't shut those videos off, but the ones that I don't make the titles like that, oh, they will, So let me show you guys. So I just pulled up the whole page of them. Now let me just explain my night routine and what I do with my defenses there. It's one angle of my defenses. I sleep on the floor. Is this going to pull up? Okay, so these are the ones, this is like 8 hours. Let's listen to a little bit of it. I think I like this one better. Listen to it a little bit. Go through the advertisement. But let me tell y'all what I've been doing. And I think that it's actually working. I think that it's interfering. It may not so much be helping me to feel more positive, but it's interfering with the negative subliminals in the hypnosis that my attackers are doing. Because, okay, so I'm getting ready to go to bed. I bring all my grounding over there. I have 3 grounding straps on my leg that are plugged into the walls over here. Then I take out my noise canceling hearing aids. I take off my regular glasses from under these glasses, but then I put these back on. I take off my hat, and then I just have my headgear on. I have my headgear on like this. Oh man, it's too far. And then, so I put my headgear on with these polarized sunglasses, and then I put the lead cap on. Let me just grab it. I'm going to grab that lead cap. I know a lot of you guys have seen this. I recommend this. It's like 40 bucks. Oh, I'm not going to be able to reach that. I'm going to fall. Oh, I'm going to fall. Oh. So this thing. So I get the headgear on. Oh, I just broke a toenail. You know when you break a toenail and it wasn't supposed to break off? Okay, but basically, if you just go into healing affirmations or mind healing affirmations, so okay, I got my headgear on, then I put my, my headphones on like that, and I don't know if y'all can see this, but I open up Dave Case's CD on the computer, right? So start playing Dave Case's CD on the computer, and then I play 3 of these one time. Like I'll find 3 different ones, and then they're all playing at once with Dave Case's CD. So if my attackers are doing any kind of subliminal
of health, wellness, and healing, at first you will hear the affirmations, but after a few minutes they will fade to the subliminal level. Listen daily.
So I think a good idea would be to find some of these. I'm pretty much trusting of them because they seem to just be YouTube channels. It doesn't seem to be like a gimmick, so I'm kind of trusting it. And I've been waking up, and it seems like my recovery time and feeling less dread is going on. So it feels like I'm getting subliminals, these positive subliminals, and it's interfering a little bit with what my attackers have been doing every night, right? So I wanted to tell you all about that. It is helping a little bit with Dave Case's CD. And if you did it without Dave Case's CD, I don't know how well it would work. Dave Case's CD is I have to say that it's really the centerpiece for how I other stuff. And I hate it for some people it doesn't work, But okay, so I'll have my headphones on without my noise canceling hearing aids. I take all that off, and then over my headgear and the noise canceling and the regular headphones, I put this over, right, without my hat. See your face kind of pokes out there. The bad thing is my nose is usually here. My nose is usually right here. Let me turn this off. But y'all know what I'm saying? Healing affirmations, mind healing affirmations. Find some that are like 8 hours long or 5 hours long or 10 hours long, and try them because it might interfere, kind of go over what your attackers are trying to do on a negative level, right? It's been working pretty well. The bad thing is my nose comes to like here, and so I have to breathe through my nose, and my mouth is covered by this part. So it's a little bit, it's annoying. But my thing on $40. So just look up lead cap on Google. It's $40. And what I'm thinking that this does, it definitely, if they're shooting in straight electromagnetic frequency, is going to stop that. But I feel like they're creating an electromagnetic field around the head and then doing or photonic energy through to actually mess with the brain. It can actually interfere with that electromagnetic field that they're trying to create around the head, because this is lead, right? So this lead is going to kind of mess up whatever they're trying to do. And I'll feel like kind of when I start using this without the subliminal stuff, the positive subliminal stuff, we need to be putting positive subliminal stuff in our brains to kind of to try and overpower what our attackers are doing. Especially after a long time of being targeted. Hey, Breakaway Civilization. Breakaway Civilization says, wait, okay, so you had another. Hey, Kyle, can I tell you something about binaural beats and bone conducting headphones? Yeah. So you say, Breakaway Civilization says, it has negative subliminal messages behind it all. Look out for Charlie on YouTube about that. It's even on the CIA website. It's for mind control. Wait, what is binaural beats? Are you saying binaural beats or the bone conducting headphones? But the deal with these YouTube channels where there's subliminal positive affirmation, I try and find smaller channels and listen to it before you do it. I guess if you're targeting an individual that thinks everything is controlled, maybe you might not want to do this. But I'm pretty none of these subliminals have been putting anything negative in my head. It's all been combating it, Oh yeah, that's not true though, Breakaway. So Breakaway Civilization said binaural beats and frequency videos, it's all mind control. It can't be. They can't put every YouTube video out that's meditation or subliminal. That's just not possible. That's logically impossible that they could put out every YouTube video from every meditative person that starts a YouTube video. So we don't have to worry about that they're all from the CIA. We definitely don't have to worry about that. But I'm sure there are some out there, actual mind control. Yeah, you can. If you use it a while, it makes you feel worse. Then you could know it's doing something bad. But if you use it for a while and it's making you feel more positive and there doesn't seem to be any negative effects, then you can be like, oh, okay, that's actually good. It doesn't have anything bad in it. So you really can break away civilization if you just do it for a while. You just try it for a while. Look for a smaller channel, something like that. I think it's a great idea. A lot of these, like I've listened to them, it's all positive stuff, and there's nothing that makes me feel worse. My attackers make me feel worse, make me feel insane. But for the positive subliminal healing things, I haven't found anything bad. And I'm not saying there aren't any out there, but I don't think every one of them are any frequency videos. So Breakaway Civilization says, hey, Kyle, have you heard of mica metal? Mica metal? I haven't heard of that. Well, I think look out for Charlie was saying binaural beats but like I'm talking about the subliminal. And you don't even have to do subliminal ones. You can do ones where, like, let me show you this. You could do positive affirmations that you can actually hear. You can hear them saying it, right? You don't have to pick a subliminal one. You can just do like something like this, but with healing. I would say do one with healing. Positive sleep reprogramming, but it's no subliminals. Hi, I'm right?
And I am a sound.
Just pick some without subliminal in it. If you're worried about negative subliminals, but even, you know, guys, even as a targeted individual, there's just normal things out there and things that people are trying to do that are good that we can get and use as tools against this. And I just, even at this point in the New World Order, I just, you know, not everything is taken over. I cannot live that way. It doesn't make sense. It's not true. There's a lot of good people out there just doing things that aren't trying to harm people, and we can use those things. I'd say be careful to just think everything is like a, you know, everything is trying to mind control us. Oh, are y'all freaking out about this one? Yeah, just freak. Karen, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. What are you saying to be careful about, Anne? Don't get the ones with frequencies. Kyle, you're such a sweet, trusting soul. Karen Reich, the ones with frequencies. What, the bone conduction headphones or the videos? Nah, it's, yeah. Yeah, I just don't think everything. I know that there's a lot of people trying to screw people over, and there's a lot of testing on the public and stuff, but you can find one and you test it out and make sure you don't feel bad after. Don't keep using it if it makes you feel bad. And if it makes you feel better and it's having positive results, then just try it. Actually, I really don't trust anything, but you know, we have to use logic when we start, because we're targeted. So it's like our emotional reaction is not to trust anybody, because we've been so screwed over. We're being murdered by people we don't know. But logically, there's just normal things out there. There's things that can empower people. There's things that are good. And we don't want to pass up on that because we're just like, hey, well, I'm not going to trust anything. I'm not going to do anything, right? So we got to be careful with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice. Anne says maybe not everything, but use extreme caution. I'd say that's good advice. Use extreme caution. No, that's actually, like, I'm not a sweet, trusting man. I mean, I'm a sweet man. I try and do what's right, but that's one of the problems of this targeting. I really don't trust anyone. And not paranoid. I don't even want to use the word paranoid. It's just like, yeah. Yeah, me too, Ann. I mean, but it's like you're saying, right, Tanya, I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God too, but God, see, I can't just be like, okay, hey, God, take this away. Like, my attackers still torture me. So what God does with me is he's like, hey, I'm going to bring you to these things that can help you. So, right. So in all of our different situations, we're trusting God, but like, so God brings me to some of these, and I'm sure God would steer me away from danger, but be careful. Be really careful. You know, don't pick ones. I don't want us all to be like, oh man, yeah, you know, they're just experimenting on society. Everybody's in on it, like every human being, because then we'll miss stuff that can actually help us, right? Because like Dave Case is actually, he created something really, really good. I just don't want us to miss out. No, don't. No, I understand where you're coming from. I totally understand. You're right. You're right. So many deceitful people in our society. So many deceitful things being done to people. You know, being experimented on. We've got to be careful. I mean, I guess we need to balance it. Like, be real careful with what you're trying, but don't not try anything, because you're worried it's just gonna go against you, because your attackers aren't gonna stop doing this stuff to your brain. Drunken Ninja says, end goal is to make the world like Brave New World dystopia, but with a smile. What was the one? Brave New World was the one where they took the medicine and they were just euphoric, right? There's like a new show on. They're making a new show, Brave New World, with no smile, Drunken Ninja, because we'll all be wearing masks. We'll all be wearing masks, and people won't be able to see our smiles. Yeah. Yeah, Soma. Isn't that? It's the name of a real drug now. Soma's the. I remember reading that book in high school or elementary school. I think I read Brave New World in elementary school, and then Soma wasn't out yet in the real world. Now they actually do have something called Soma. Yeah, I believe the Bible is truth, guys. Will I get in trouble if I say this? I think I'm going to get in trouble. You Christians, tell me if I'm getting in trouble. I don't think you can confine God to a book. Like, I don't think as human beings we should put God in, like, this is God. He's in this book, and that's it. I don't think we should do that. But I think the Bible has a lot of truth in it, and it's inspirational. It's from men who were inspired straight from God. But I think God is so much bigger. And I think as humans, we try and say, I got this book, this is God. Am I getting in trouble here, Christians? Y'all tell me. Because I'm a Christian too. But I guess I'm just not a dogmatic Christian. God is so much more. He's so much more we don't even know yet. Maybe it's in the Bible metaphorical style, but so much more to reach for, right? Us Christians, yeah. No, I'm a Christian. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I am a Christian because I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. But I think I've just said so many things on my videos, and like I like Joel Osteen, and had conversations with other Christians, and they say I'm like Luciferian because I like Star Wars or something. And I'm like, am I just not a good Christian? Because I think I'm a good Christian. I try and do what's good. I'm not trying to do anything satanic. I'm just not very dogmatic because I think God is so much bigger than just words or anything like that. He's like way bigger than just this world, right? Churchian. Yeah, Jerusalem McBear says you're not a churchian, you're a Christian. I haven't been to church in a while. I guess the only thing you could call church is watching Joel Osteen's sermons. Yeah, Drunken Ninja. He doesn't hide in the book till you open it and God jumps out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very spiritual. And that's one thing, guys. Like, we need that to survive this. I know more practical people, it's a lot harder. It's like sometimes you've gotta just go into the spirit. This is so bad. It's like your brain and your body, you're just about to give out, right? And you got to just go into the spirit, like almost like you're looking at it, like you're looking at it from above, like you're separated from it. And I can't explain how to do that, but if you get with God, he'll find your way, right? Because we're all different as human beings. So, well, I did want to show you all that. I've only had positive effects from the subliminal stuff. I use the subliminal stuff. But y'all, if you are worried about it, just use the stuff where you can hear exactly what they're saying. Listen to it all, maybe when you're awake, to make sure. I think maybe look out for Charlie was talking about, like, sometimes they're doing that, but not all of these. Not all of these YouTube channels can be like the CIA mind controlling people. Some of them could, though. It's hard in this because we've seen the extent that they've gone to hide like our murders all the time and everything like that. And it's just like, we look at some things we're not too sure about, like, oh man, is the CIA putting all these subliminal things out on YouTube? And we don't know. Look at how bad they're treating us and murdering us. And you know, splitting up our families and everything, and all the other stuff that's going on. I haven't even talked about all the other stuff that's going on in society right now, just the targeting. But then, you know, that's why we've got to find some more concrete information on exactly the protocols of like it's ultra top secret, you know. Really? MT Cali says, haven't been in a church in 3 years. Church is for serfs. Dark Winter says church is for serfs. Yeah, I do. Jonathan Cushing says, try watching Derek Prince, Kyle. Yeah, Brian too sent me a bunch of Derek Prince stuff, and I've been listening to him too. I just don't. I guess I'm not going to get into the Joel Osteen conversation again tonight. I don't want a bunch of thumbs down. I don't really care. You've been married 22 years. What does your wife or husband say about this? I'm sorry, I don't know. Hey Tina, have a good night. Thank you for coming. I hope you're doing okay. Let's kind of get ready. Let's be on point. Let's be on point this week and kind of dig as far as we can in what the UN is putting out. So, you know, I'm gonna do that. It's either coming this week or next week, and we're gonna see. Really, Ratman Nixon says any 501c3 church isn't real in my book. Yeah. I get a lot of money. Joel Osteen gets a lot of money. A lot of money. Makes a lot of money for his. But they also give away a lot of money. They also donate a lot of money. How much do they donate? How much do they keep? I got some other stuff tonight, guys, but I don't know. It's been 2.5 hours. Yeah, let's save some of that stuff for next time. I'm going to put those 2 Wired articles. Wow, 2.5 hours? And I just went through like 2 articles and I didn't even really go through them. I may make a shorter video of exactly the positive affirmations I use, but I would think that a lot of you guys would maybe want to find your own. I feel like if I come on and I say, hey, use these, then some people who maybe don't trust me are going to be like, oh, Kyle's saying to use these because they're the mind control ones. So it may be better if you just explore on your own, just find long ones. MT Callie says, Kyle, I think my hubby is slowly coming around, but I fell down the rabbit hole in 2007. Wow. Have you been targeted since 2007? Are you targeted? Are you targeted with directed energy weapons? You don't have to say it. You don't have to tell me a bunch of stuff about your situation if you don't want to. I was just curious though. Yeah, I haven't seen my family in a while. Like they brought my grandma to Florida. My grandma is getting a lot like where she is like maybe doesn't think she's gonna go another year. And so my family went down to Florida, all of them, and my car was broken. I couldn't go, and I haven't talked to my mom and my dad for a while. I guess I was kind of just waiting for the UN thing, and then I could maybe send my mom that. I've become so disconnected from my family because like I'm just surviving during the day, and they want me. They're like, you need to get out of it and get a job and do all this stuff. So pretty much the thing with my family is we've stayed connected over the long years of torture, but now I'm just like I'm so tired. It's more disconnected. It's my family, my family stuff. My family ties, just talking to my family all the time. Hey, Nadia. Nadia says, there are some brainwave apps I've tried with the binaural presets where I do not feel good afterwards. You just have to try and see what works for it. Yeah, exactly. Look through those, on YouTube. I'm going to try and find something better. But for me, it's like they're doing audible V2K when I'm sleeping. Then they're doing subliminal, they're doing directed dreaming. Then they're doing V2K I can't hear that's bubbling up in my inner voice. Then some that's not even bubbling up in my inner voice. So there's many layers of this subliminal psychic driving that they've been doing for so long. And how I feel now, years ago, I know that there's not only remote neural manipulation with this, there's heavy hypnosis every night, or entrainment, hypnosis, whatever you want to call it, heavy suggestion and conditioning to the brain, so that things that when they were doing something with remote neural manipulation or an external hit before, you may have been like, oh, I'm good. I have. So they're hypnotizing you to be like, things hurt a lot worse. You're a lot more sad. Things are hopeless. Saying things, or you don't want to make any more YouTube. They're doing things like that where maybe you can't even hear it, right? And so I think that some of those things that you can hear, maybe if they're just positive subliminals, they're going to come in there and at least interfere where it's not going on all night. And I think we need to be playing around with that. Drunken Ninja says, does your V2K ever have real world actions? What do you mean, man? Do you mean, do they like say something and it actually happens or something like that? I'm not sure what you mean. No, maybe you're talking to somebody else. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. See, my V2K just now, the guy just goes, he's retarded. And then the woman goes, this really is insane. Sounds like I mean, this is probably Chatterbox right now, but it does really sound like they're there. I know there's probably somebody on a ship, but they're not talking right. Oh, and then the woman goes, we don't have to do this. And then the guy, what's he saying? It's harder to hear the guy because his voice is, it's like a deeper tone. Oh, he goes, baby, he's insane. We have to do this, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. V2K. Andrew says, most of that voices or stuff is the devil, not man's high-tech mind control, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're saying the V2K? No, no. V2K that I can hear is actually integrated neuroweapon system. It's an integrated neuroweapon system with a lot of AI chatterbox, and it's shooting at me. They have people that are manning these stations and torturing people. But I do think that Satan can make us feel worse and stuff like that. But no, this is done with technology. Anybody that comes to my channel and you're like, I don't think this is technology, I think this is all spiritual, you might not stay long with me. Like, I'm a Christian and I believe that the spirit, we should be strong in the spirit, but you probably won't stick around too long on my channel if you're just dead set on this being just all spiritual and no technology. That's no. I don't know what you mean, Drunken Ninja. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, Andrew. I'm just saying, you know, there's spiritual attacks and things like that. But man, they're using some heavy advanced technology to do things to people's brains where it's like, no, this is a weapon. Over a long period of time can shift the mind, can give you you know, post-traumatic stress disorder, can make you feel differently, you know. Yeah, pray against everything. Pray against everything, and then that'll help you to fight off any of the spiritual stuff. But then, you know, really get down to the nitty-gritty with the physical stuff and find some solutions for those. Like, I found some solutions to get it down percentages, but then we're dealing with infinite amounts of time for our attackers. So that's the next thing to work on. When you're getting defenses, you're trying to buy time, not quite sure how your attackers are going to adapt and over how many years or how many months or whatever. So then the next phase when we buy time, get this lower down, is then to get the UN to report this. We can get that. Oh, Andrew Danette says Alan Turing stuff. Yeah. Oh, I must have misunderstood you, Andrew. I must have misunderstood you. Yeah, Turing said the singularity, and I think the singularity has already happened. I don't think it can go back. I think they've advanced AI too much, And what we need to do when this show Next comes out, I think it's going to be pretty much predictive programming, because the AI has gone so far. They're doing this compartmentalized, and nobody knew what they were creating, this Frankenstein monster. And the AI is going to be able to think like a human because it's poking in all of our brains. Like this AI on like these platforms on targeted individual's brain, and that AI is interacting with that targeted individual's brain. And all the AI is tied in together, right? Targeting each individual targeted individual's brain, and then it's all collected. So the AI learns how a human being thinks, reacts, feels, blah, 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 makes visuals in their head and everything like that. This targeting has so many angles of what they're trying to create with it. And so, then they can get from all of this experimentation on the brain and how we think and how we react, and this does this, they can make a neural network, which would be a computerized brain, and have it be put into robots, and then be able to at least do some of the not sophisticated human things, but simpler things. Drunken Ninja says, when my V2K started, Black Ops 2 came out, player having V2K and a few other things that were going through my head at the same time. Oh, like somebody else, the player having, like a player, like one of the characters in the game had something that was like, whoa, that's really more than coincidence. I get gang stalked, so if I ever play any video game online, like they will have somebody who is like gang stalking me on the online play, which is going to suck for Avengers. But no, I mean, with my V2K, I'd have to think about it more. They've probably done stuff to where they've mentioned something happening and then it does happen because they set it up, I can't think right now, though. I don't know. I've had a lot of those situations too, where but it has to be like an advertisement or something. Like they were like on my computer, because they have the V2K going, the remote neural monitoring going, right? And so they know what I think, and I'm worried about my dog. I'm worried about her having cancer. Like I'm really worried. Okay, so this is an example. I'm really worried about my dog having cancer because she's been around this stuff so long. She's very lethargic. I need to just bring her to the veterinarian. God, simple words. But so what my attackers did is on my computer, they started popping up this advertisement of how to know if your dog is asking for help, like how to know how your dog lays down and stuff like that. So stuff like that. They do stuff like that all the time. Norbit Wiener, I know that name. I need to look that up. Yeah, me too. Arachnix, I'm living on Social Security. I'm living on Social Security, and then my mom's help with this place, and it's not good. I'm like running down. Everything's kind of running down to where I need to come up with some not getting stronger. I'm kind of getting weaker, physically weaker, getting spiritually stronger. I get spiritually disconnected. I would think that I won't go into all that, but with the cleansing the pineal gland and stuff like that, I feel a little bit better. Just I think the pandemic and everything that's been happening lately kind of struck me on a subconscious level, because I'm not going to consciously, I'm not like, hey God, you better save us, we've been targeted so long and we need help. And then it's like the pandemic, and so subconsciously I was like, God's going to help us out of this, right? And then the pandemic comes and everything gets worse, and we're more ignored. We're even more ignored now because of all the complete crisis that are going on all over the world. And so I kind of got a little subconscious. It wasn't a conscious thing, because I still have faith in God. I don't know what's going to happen. Bad things could happen for the rest of my life, but I'm still going to try and have as much joy, help people. I was born into this time. We do have a destiny. There's a destiny force inside of you guys, and God is connected to you. You are meant to be in this time. you know. But sometimes for our minds, it's and this is with the targeting, but just on a like, oh my God, like we need help. We've been fighting for so long, and then the world comes crashing down on us. And I think it wasn't consciously that I understood this, but I think subconsciously it wrecked me. It just wrecked me. I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't really get a sign that things were going to get worse from God, you know. God wasn't saying, hey, things are going to get a lot worse, so you better, you better get with this defense stuff. Yeah, Drunken Ninja says Destiny sounds like a good stripper name. No, aren't you supposed to take your you're supposed to take your first childhood dog and the street that your first street that you lived on. So my stripper name would be Cindy Sheffield. my stripper name would be Cindy Sheffield. What would y'all's be? Put them in the chat. Everybody put them in the chat. Cindy Sheffield, because Cindy was my childhood dog. And then the street that I lived in, Sheffield, Cindy Sheffield. Yeah, Samia says people are going to manifest Jesus Christ or the devil, one or the other, no in between. Yeah, it's like you got to either go the good way or you go the bad way, you know. It's either or. There was this, I was watching the Purge show, like I think about a couple months ago, and you know, y'all know what the Purge is, right? And so they got the guy, and it's this guy that ends up being really bad at the end, but he seems like he's kind of a good guy at the beginning, and he's listening to the radio driving around like it seems like he's saving people, but he's bringing, I don't want to ruin it for y'all. Anyway, the point is the radio, it's Purge night, right? And the guy on the radio says, it's Purge night, everybody. Hurt or will you heal, right? So will you try and heal people? Will you try and hurt people? And I feel like we're kind of in a part of our society where things are just going haywire. People are taking sides, and they're like, you know, if they can hurt people, they'll hurt people and stuff like that. And then some people like me, you guys, we have to choose to heal. Oh, dude, I hope I didn't break that. Did I have it plugged in? Okay, I don't think I broke it. I choose to heal. Karen says, understand your pain makes Satan happy, so it's a sign he hates you, which I believe is a good thing in the long run. Yeah, true. I just know, I mean, Jesus said we were going to suffer, and then I think of that saying, it rains on the just and unjust alike, you know. I think that bad things happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people. You know, we got both of those things going on. Am I still on? Can you guys see me? Guys, can you still see me? Samia, can you see me? Did it cut off? All right, guys, I got a little bit more stuff, but like we've been on for a while. We've been on for like 3 hours. So I'm going to kind of save it. And this week I'm going to be really looking for what's coming out, like what the reports are and where Cybertorture is. I don't want to say if, it has to be in there. It has to be in the title of the thing that he did for the Human Rights Council, you know. So I'll be looking, and I'll be back. Riptide says, hey Kyle, can you see low drones and sats above your place? Mine are there every night humming away. I get the ones, the bigger ones. It looks like a star that's way too bright. But with my targeting, I never see like low drones, like small drones in the daytime or the nighttime. And I think in the nighttime I do. I see some unmanned aerial vehicles that fly really, really high. But the main ones that I see all the time is that huge thing that looks like a star, but it's way too bright, you know? And I just did this thing, but I didn't. Yeah, Andrew Jeanette says God is watching too. God is also targeting us, and all the forces of good are targeting us. It's just, man, if I could keep my body going and my mind going. Ann says, I don't want to focus on the tech anymore. Moved up. Yeah, me too. Ann says, I don't focus on the tech anymore. 9 years of that was enough. It's tech. It's true. You know, I kind of wanted to do that, like, just like, you know, we're getting hit by directed energy weapons. We're getting hit in the head. Our minds are being messed with. We're getting, you know, that's kind of, but like doing a YouTube channel, and like when we need to come up with defenses, it sucks. Like, it's like we've got to kind of go into the complication of how this could be happening and everything that could be doing it, and how. And one thing I don't hear from any targeted individuals is exactly how it's coming in and interfacing with the brain, right? We get some simple things like, oh, it's electromagnetic frequency and it's interacting with the nanotechnology in your brain, blah, blah. But if we can get some more specific stuff on exactly electromagnetic field around the head, and then infrasonic, whatever, you know, infrasonic, ultrasonic, microwave to manipulate the brain, then we can better defend it. That's that. You know, I'm with you. This stuff makes me crazy. So much of this tech, and we're on the wrong side of it. We don't have anything where, so it's like we're trying to piecemeal it together on what we're experiencing, what we're researching from the contractors, what we've tried to experiment, what we've experimented with defenses and stuff like that. It's nuts. I mean, when millions of people in the world, well, it's tens of thousands right now that have spoken out, but millions of people around the world being targeted, maybe even just everybody. But when thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people come out and say they're being hit with microwaves and their brains, V2K and everything, then that should be investigated. We shouldn't have to do this investigating. You know, that's how evil what we're dealing with is. Yeah. Andrew said we need a bit more peace of mind someplace. Oh, I love some peace of mind. My V2K has not stopped since 2011. I have to like look at something, be watching something and doing something to even kind of get to a balanced homeostasis. Like my mind can kind of think of some ideas, and that's not even like a peaceful place. Yeah, humans are not. We're not used to all the EM waves. We're not supposed to go through this. Samia says, Kyle, have you seen Kevin Christian's videos lately? I haven't. I've pulled away a little bit just to clear my mind. It was piling up. You know, I was watching truther videos every day and targeted individual videos every day, and it was just piling. And I had to just back away and be like, okay, I got to focus on something that's kind of fun for me, that I like, and stuff like that. I'll check him out. I like Kevin. I know we're all. This is the thing, guys. We say this a lot. We say it, but everybody, like, I'm falling apart. A lot of target. I mean, I don't want to say falling apart. I don't want to insult anybody, but a lot of target individuals, we're all like, we can't handle this anymore, right? And I feel like there's a reason for that. I feel like we're getting close. We're getting close because it's like we're up against this wall and there's all this pressure, and this is kind of like people kind of know about it but kind of are keeping their mouths shut, and the mainstream media is kind of reporting on some things about it. I just feel like there's going to be this time where it's just like, and I feel like the people doing it, like the Pentagon and higher than the Pentagon and in other countries, those intelligence agencies and contractors and everything, at a certain point, they're going to say, this has to come out, right? And then they're going to make it come out in their way or whatever. I want the real whole truth to come out and for us to get justice, but mainly I want this to stop. So I'm seeing that at a certain point, they're gonna back down. Yeah, Rackner Niggin says, it's good to take a step back now and then. I had to just get my mind on something else. and then some more ideas can kind of come to me. If I'm doing something, it's like, okay, I'm thinking of what I can put out on a YouTube video all the time. How can I, what can I bring to doctors, get the DTIs? Or it's like if you're trying to do stuff all the time, you can't just have these kismet kind of ideas come to you, Yeah, and says big video game going live here, God versus Satan. Yeah, that's good. That's so true. Good versus evil on this world. I would try that. At least you, like Andrew says, need some relaxing particle physical meditation. Particle physical meditation? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Andrew? I would try that. I feel like I got to a place where I didn't want to go to sleep because I felt so bad while I was sleeping, such directed nightmares and everything like that. And when I woke up, I felt like they had just controlled my mind. I was just thinking these negative thoughts. But since I've been doing these positive affirmations mixed with Dave KCD, the lead cap, the headgear, and everything like that, I feel like, oh, I'm gonna get to go to sleep, and then I'm kind of blocking. I can still hear the V2K. I can still hear the audible V2K, but I think the subliminal stuff that they're doing, it's just too much stuff. When I play 2 of these videos in Dave KCD, it's too much interference right in that middle ear, and they're not getting the right feedback. They're not getting the right feedback to put in stronger signals and stronger audible signals and stronger subliminal signals. Yeah, me too, Andrew. I feel tired and stressed too. I feel real tired and stressed. Kim says, I went offline for 6 days, a cleanse. Yeah, I have to do like month cleanses. I was gonna kind of wait till the end of, or not the end of this month, it's the beginning of this month, but another like week, and then usually my mind has kind of been able to process some stuff even with my attackers on top of it and the automated systems on top of it, and then I can kind of come back and start, and I feel better. Things get piled. That problem before the targeting, things never piled up. Always knew, it just, if something went wrong, I could just, say the right thing, to the person and just fix things, and just everything went better. Without this targeting, it's like you can't process things, you can't fix things, because I used to be able to say the right, and not just say a bunch of BS, but really say the right thing that I wanted to say that was right. And I took that for granted, man. And like people come to me after so long of we're all dying, right? And it's like, I don't know what to say. We got to survive. We got to believe in God. We've got to be strong. We've got to keep going. You will find good things, I kind of just, I'm so tired. Sometimes I just don't know what to say anymore, Anne says, in Revelation, Kyle, God will tell you in his world. Yeah, in his world. Yeah. But yeah. Just, I think we're going to still be here. I think humanity is going to go on. Like, I know there's a lot of people that are like, this is the apocalypse and Jesus is coming back. And I'm not saying Jesus is never coming back. I'm just saying, I kind of have a feeling things are going to kind of keep going on, because that's what they've done during the Black Death, during 3-something million people dying in China, during all these situations where the people in the situations were like, our Messiah is coming because this is the end times. Then the world just kept going on. And I'm not saying Jesus is never going to come. I'm just saying there have been a lot of these times in the world which people were like, oh, my Messiah is coming now. Not saying that Jesus can't help us and Jesus isn't there for us, but I'm just not sure when he's coming back, right? I guess that's my main point. I just don't know when he's coming back. So I got to kind of prepare to, to keep on going with this stuff. Yeah. I wish it was. I wish, maybe, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope Jesus comes back, but I just don't think, and I don't want to say we shouldn't count on that, because I don't want to say don't have faith in Jesus Christ. Yes, have faith in Jesus Christ. Yes, have faith in the Son of God. And God, just like he just didn't say like, hey, when this pandemic's going on, a lot of you guys are being targeted, I'm going to come back, you know, because it's happened before. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I understand that. And says, I don't panic anymore, but I don't laugh too much. Yeah, I really get that. Yeah, that's so true. It's like I don't get really, really scared and just I'm like every day because I'm being murdered. It's been going on for so long, but I don't have a lot of laughter. Okay. Jonathan says God is allowing Satan to make us into X-Men type characters to fight Satan's X-Men army of scorpions from the pit. I like that. I agree with that. Yeah, Anne says, if the world hates you, remember it hated me first. Jesus says this. Yeah. Sweet Treats. Hey, Sweet Treats. Sweet Treat says, if you look up your own name, it will show you that you are on a terrorist watch list and why. That is proof that we have been wrongfully targeted. We don't belong on those lists. Peace and many blessings. Thank you, Sweet Treats. Where do we go to look that up? Where do we go to see if our name's on the terrorist watch list? Riptide says, so that's why they go with the trauma-based abuse to try and achieve a low state. Now, yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. They torture us. They murder us. They isolate us. They try and keep us from sleeping. Our brain's going to go down to a lower frequency, right? When we're hurting, when we're angry, when we're negative, and then those ELF, because everything they're connecting to our brain and our nervous system with is extremely low frequency. It's meshing real good. When you're like really angry or really, really sad or really, all those low frequency feelings, they're going to be able to connect a lot more. And that's why I always tell people, I'm like, you got to get your frequencies up. We have to, especially in this horrible situation, because their weapon works better when we're angry, when we're sad and all this stuff. And it's not possible to just clear all that out and be happy for it, but you got to find something. You got to, look to your faith, look to things that you love and everything. You got to get those frequencies up. Not everybody in the world is a piece of poo. All of you guys are great. I don't know why I keep saying that piece of pee. Try to say piece of shit. Not everybody's a piece of shit. Like there's really good stuff in the world. We've got to find that stuff and block out all this really bad stuff from time to time. Because then once you get your frequencies up, you catch a little wind under your air beneath your wings, right? It gets better. You can kind of get up and away from your attackers. Seriously, guys, like, and I've been there. Like I've been there, angry, yelling at the YouTube videos, and punching in walls, so angry, and what they were doing was a lot stronger, even at the beginning, right? Then now trying to neutral, raising my frequencies as much as possible. And honestly, with the way that the world is, I'd say with the way that the world is and the way that our health is, we need faith. We need faith in God. We need Jesus Christ. We need God. In the way that you can get to God and connect with God, you need to do that. Because it seems like in this crazy world, what people are holding on to, and this is a eugenics thing, right? There's a lot of people dying and being poisoned and everything, and there's a lot of craziness in the world. So what has become the being strong is just being healthy, right? It's just being mentally and physically. If someone is that, then they're like, oh yeah, everything's crazy, but I'm going to go ahead and focus on this because I'm having fun with the good stuff in life, right? For us, we're not healthy, so we need something a little bit more when the world is so crazy. And we need our faith, and we need things that we love, and we need to realize that God can still give us good things. It's so hard to do, and like I don't do it. I don't do it sometimes, but I don't do it perfectly a lot when I do it. To raise those frequencies, their weapons will be able to work less. But that's also this is complicated. You can't just be like, you can't be being murdered and your head being pummeled in by microwaves and remote and not using any defenses and be like, oh, I'm gonna feel happy. It doesn't. That's why I'm like, you gotta get these defenses. You've got to get a little bit of that toned down so then you can use your own willpower, your own faith, and everything like that. I feel like I'm in this time to do this, to like there's a lot of other targeted individuals speaking out, but I feel like, you know, like God's kind of helping me to say, like, get some defenses and get, because he knows it's going to be a while before this stops. I hope not, though. I hope not. I'm going to be really praying about it, getting way back into my faith. I've never lost faith in God, but you know, I'm not praying every day and meditating every day. It's so hard to do it when you're getting V2K and stuff like that. It's so hard. I don't know how I can meditate, like, because I want to read scripture and just read positive stuff and get quiet. But I have the V2K, the ring in my ear, so I'm gonna have to like watch something on YouTube. Maybe I can get some stuff on YouTube that's reading the Bible or talking about the Bible, and kind of go along with it. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna do some stuff like that. There's always hope, guys. There's always hope. We're still alive. Life is so precious. Your life is so precious. All targeted individuals want, all non-targeted individuals want. Your life is so precious. You don't know what God has planned for you. And people throughout, this is something that I want to tell everybody to do. And I need to call like some other targeted individuals to tell them to do this. Oh, can I listen to the Bible? Yeah, I should probably listen to the Bible on tape. I want to listen to Psalms on tape, and then I guess I want to listen to Revelations. Everybody's telling me to listen to Revelations. I forgot what I was saying. It was important. It was really important. It was super important. What was I saying, guys? What was I saying? Saying it's important. Okay, I can't remember. I can't remember what I was saying there. Man. Yeah, Jonathan Cushing said, I have trouble reading. They have made me very ADHD, so I read and listen. Yeah, me too. So hard to focus. I was saying God's will. Oh, I was about to say something really, really, really important. It was really important. Yeah, you're here for a purpose. I said that. I can't remember. It was something really important. Oh, I can't remember. My attackers did wipe that one. It was gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'll maybe remember it on another one. I'll get on a short video if I can remember what I wanted to say. Samia says, what happened at the UN meeting? That is this week. This week. That's this week. If they mention Cybertorture, which I think they are, but I'm going to find it. I'm going to be looking through everything, and people help me. Help me out, guys. If you're watching this video and this week you can find the UN, the presentation where Cybertorture is mentioned, the report, if it comes out, please send it to me. Please let me know, and I'll put it out in a video so we can know exactly what they're saying and what we can do for it. Hey, Honey Ann. Haven't seen you in forever. All right, guys, I got to kind of wrap it up. Did you just get here, Honey Ann, or have you been on for a while? Because I've been on for 3 hours. I was just kind of coming on to say hi. I didn't even mean to stay on for this long. Okay, Jonathan said you were saying it's important you were going to call and get other TIs together to do something. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Call other TIs together. I really can't remember. I really can't remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, Andrew says nice, good dog and cat videos for me next. And I'll probably play my Avengers game and maybe put on some of the positive affirmations. Okay, yeah, everybody head over to Ochu 1981 after this. Ochu 1981's doing a live stream. All right, guys. Hey, good night, man. I'll be back around. I don't know if I'll do a live stream tomorrow, but I'm going to be kind of researching, getting ready, seeing what I can find, and also I'm going to continue. I edited some stuff, but I've been unmotivated and not working on it, so I'm gonna get to that. No, I haven't, Samia. I guess I'll do that. I guess I'll check out some Kevin Christian's videos. I've heard he's been having a really rough time. Just somebody mentioned it. Somebody said, yeah, Kevin Christian's having a really rough time. I'll go back and watch. It was something really important. And I was talking about, yeah, God. That's so important. It's something that I do that helps me in this. I mean, I guess basically like finding a way to live in the spirit is so important. It's integral. It's integral. And to believe when so many bad things have happened to you, to believe that good things can still happen, and to trust in the universe and trust in God to lead you to those things. It's like, it's hard in this because everything continually keeps going bad, right? Everything stays in a bad zone, but it's so important to find your way to live in the spirit. Hey, you too, honey. I didn't know. I've been on for a while though. I'm kind of getting tired. Yeah, Nadia says nothing, no man, no technology, nothing can separate you from the love of God. Amen. Amen. Let's end it with a prayer, guys. I know it's Saturday night. We need to be partying, right? We'll party with God. How about that? We'll party with God. You drink a little bit of my tea here. Drinking healthy. Yeah, Jerusha, that's the name of his channel. Kevin's really cool. He's a cool guy. I can see how he's got the V2K and everything that I think I've got. I think we're all having a rough time. I mean, I just, when I start feeling really bad, like real bad, like tonight was okay. I can get on here and talk, but I don't want to get on YouTube anymore. Like at the beginning, I'd get on YouTube when I was really, really tortured, and I'd just be like, oh man, I'm just like at this point where it's been so many years. I kind of want to feel a little bit better so I can talk about this complicated stuff. So many of you guys are hurting so bad. I feel like I can't just come on feeling so bad because it makes me feel worse if I do a video like that now. I won't do a live stream like that. I think if I'm feeling really bad, I might come on like a normal video, but so I can interact with you guys, I need to feel kind of good. It's like so bad, like at the beginning. What happened, Tanya? Yeah, she's been in the hospital. Pray for Tanya. Let's pray for everybody, guys. We got to make something happen on this. This is a situation where people are dying, where people are in very dangerous situations. This is not something we should have to have patience on, but we just got to keep going. Sammy says, Tanya, he knows his stuff. Has made any videos the last couple of days? I haven't noticed any. Who are y'all talking about? Y'all talking about Kevin? I think he's just doing really bad. He may be taking a break or that. It's don't worry, like I'll try and like keep you updated if I'm have to get off, if I can't do videos for a while. But sometimes when people do this, like you step up as a target, like you're being targeted, and then you step up, it's like you got to take breaks sometimes because it's too much. Depending on what type of torture you're getting. Ace Spade says, my computer barely works. My TV is messed up. I need to build a new computer. Yeah, Honey Ann says, we must never be neighbor haters. They want a race war bad. I love all people, all religions. We are all God's children. Yes. Never be neighbor haters. And even for the gang stalking people that don't know what they're doing, I just stay away from them, and then I try and find people that I do like, that I do get along with, right? So it's better that way. Yeah, they're trying to get us. Oh, dude, the kind of conditioning and eugenics and stuff like that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say there's a eugenics thing in society where everything's so crazy, right? Everything's so crazy, and everybody's kind of crazy. Everybody's kind of wackadoodle, and they have their little niche, and it's like, oh, you can be kind of nutty and crazy as long as you're healthy and you can do good at your job or whatever. And it's kind of this eugenics thing. It's this eugenics thing where just being healthy, like healthy of mind and healthy of body, that's considered virtuous. Not making the right choices, not doing the right things, but being healthy in mind and body, even if you're doing evil, the being healthy in mind and body is the virtuous part. So we've got a lot of things going on in society where they're trying to bring eugenics and a satanic eugenics in. It's really bad for everybody. And it doesn't work out too great for really, really good-hearted people who are really sick and mentally sick from being targeted all the time, because we're just looked at as pizza. Like, I know by some people in my community, I'm just looked at as like, that guy's crazy, and they don't even know me. They don't know what I've been through or anything like that. But like, I look sick sometimes, like I'm pale, and I don't really get the dark circles under my eyes, thank God. But I'll just like, my jaw will be hurt, my face will be kind of contorted and everything, which is something I got to work on. I got to go to a doctor and get help. And after the Neurontin, it seems a little bit better. It does. It seems to be healing up a little bit. I think that's what I was going to say, that eugenics thing, and then I was going to say something, and it's completely gone. That time in history is completely gone, and we must move on. We are moving on. Yeah, what's up, Jonathan? Did you want to say something else? No, it's it's here. It's in my nasal cavity, right here. Right here. It's not a bad tooth. And it goes all the way down. It's my vagus nerve. Vagus nerve stimulation. Yeah, Dark Winter says, guys, we're given a platform above others. Trans, the same. Now blacks, we need to love all and and one another. But this is the perfect crime, making us untrusting. It makes us all not trust each other because we just don't know how far it goes, and it's all completely hidden. It's made me so, I don't want to say paranoid, because it's not like a mental illness. It's like conditioned, like you're getting screwed over and you don't know who to trust, because there are people actually participating in murdering citizens, and so it gets us in a justified vigilance, justified hypervigilance. I'll just use hypervigilance because that's more a condition thing. All right, guys, let's say a prayer. I would stay on longer, but I just wanted to come in here and do a quick one, and then kind of maybe get back into it in a couple of days, maybe do a live stream. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ, dear Lord, please just help every targeted individual in the world. Give them strength, give them the peace that surpasses all understanding, give them real concrete solutions in their life, and give us the main one. Please just bless this UN report happening this week, I think. Please send me a signal if it's happening this week or next week, this upcoming week. But please just stop these evil programs. Please give us our lives back. Please give good people in the world a pathway through this new world order, a place where we can live out some joy and happiness and serve you in whatever way, in whatever your will is. Just thank you for everybody on this live stream. Thank you for all TIs. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for our precious lives, our families, our friends that we do still have. Just please bless our lives in this. Give us some really strong defensive solutions, really strong stoppage of these programs, some paths. Please, Lord, let it all come together. Let the wall fall down. Please, 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 miracles. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. Oh, please, Jesus, just stop this program. Thank you, and let's thank him. Every time you pray, you should just be I'm so grateful that I can still talk to you guys. We all have blessings and curses. One of our biggest curses is the targeting. But I'm serious. Every targeted individual, you got a curse on you, right? The targeting, not a real curse, not a, but it's a bad thing. If you look, you think about it, you have so many blessings that you can use against it, or use it to get your head out of the targeting. Got some blessings. Yeah, Nadia says, thank you, Jesus. Amen. Nadia says, God is in control. I completely agree. Just sometimes I'm like, it's a long time. It's a long time to be tortured, God. But the deal is, it's like, it's not his fault. This is men. This is a man-made system that wanted to get away from God. So it's like we need God's help to try and bring that, kind of keep that good in connection, the destiny force, right? Destiny force that he put inside all of us. Everybody has a destiny that he's created. Some men turn their back on that and they're creating all this evil. And God's not to blame. God's not to blame for this torture. So and we should all rely on him for the good things that come, right? Bad things and good things come, but I think God is really responsible for the good things. And then men who go away from God and Satan, men who are satanic and serve Satan are responsible for all the evil in the universe. In the universe. Karen says, every time I see his works, I thank God every day. Amen. Amen. I don't get out of my place enough to see God's works. I see all of you guys, so I will definitely thank God for all y'all are. Every targeted individual I've ever talked to is so strong. So strong. That's why this stuff is so scary, because it's not just something that you got to be sturdy for. It's like murder, and your body's going to wear out after a while. Your mind's not supposed to be going through it. So the people that are hurting so bad, Honey Ann says, thank you, sweetie. May you and yours be safe, Kyle, as well as all in chat. Yeah, definitely. God bless everybody in chat, and every target individual in the world, every good person in the world. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. I'll come up with maybe some more organized stuff. I had a couple of articles I didn't go through on this live stream. And then I really want, if somebody could email me, if anybody knows of a free phone, like a phone that you can get for your computer, but it's free, like it's free, you don't have to pay a monthly charge, like a VPN line or something on your phone that I could put the StreamYard up and have that, like have a thing where I turn on the phone that y'all can call in. I kind of wanted to do that. Instead of coming back and doing panels. Because with the panels, it seems like it's like we tend to get like the usuals, right? We get people who like coming on, and they come on and we talk and stuff like that. But I want to, and that's not bad. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying get to where a bunch of different people who maybe feel uncomfortable about getting on camera or coming on the video could just call in. Maybe people and they're like, oh, well, I can stay more anonymous with the phone, So if any of you guys can find that, I really want to do that. Okay, Jonathan says download an app. Yeah, but I'm looking at all of them, and they're like $40 a month and stuff. Because I'd really like to do that. I'd really like to go through some articles and then have the turn the phone on my internet. I've seen people do it, but I don't know if they're paying for it on their YouTube channels. And then you guys could call in, like say Tanya wanted to call in and let everybody know how she's doing. We have a 15-minute conversation. All right, thanks for calling in, Tanya. I'll talk to you next time. And then somebody else could call in. I was thinking that would be really good. I was thinking it could be a good pacing kind of. We could hear from a lot of targeted individuals. That seems to be, I'm thinking about it. And like I said, but this is one of the things in my unorganized tornado of a mind. I don't want to get into that right now. But that's one thing that when you have a channel this big, and then I like people seeing y'all are targeted individuals, y'all are talking about this, you're experiencing this. This can help non-targeted individuals to understand it's going on and think about, and this is just one angle of some things I want to think about. getting the most targeted individuals that can have like, hey, this is what's going on with me. We can have a YouTube channel. We can have some of that. I don't know, but if it costs money, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Jonathan Cushing, you said, can people send you cash money somehow? PayPal, a Sash App. I have a what do I have? I have a PayPal account. I have a PayPal account. It's a Vulcan Wolverine. What is it? Vulcan? No, it's paypal.me/Vulcan Wolverine. PayPal.me/Vulcan Wolverine. And I would invite that if any of you guys, like, if y'all have money that you don't desperately need to eat or do what you need to do, if you want to help this channel out, I would appreciate it, because I'm going to be trying to do some things that are good for all of us. And I really want to get a new mic, and I want to get a new camera. And I've had donations in the past. I've been paying my internet bill with most of them. Sucks. But yeah, I'd appreciate that, guys. Just paypal.me/Vulcan Wolverine. But I haven't been, I'm every week, so I didn't expect anybody to donate. But I do want to do stuff, like if you guys could donate, I do want to do stuff with it to make the channel better. So we could do something, talk about this in the right way. I feel like me talking all the time, I did that the first couple of years, and then got the articles and stuff like that. Still me talking. The panels were really good, but we kind of get into a place where it's I don't know. It's like it becomes like a hangout, and most of the same people start kind of coming, which they're great people. But I want something where it can just it can be a lot of different TIs saying this is what's going on with me. Yeah, I've seen other guys do it, and it seems like it would fit in with me going through information also, because I think that the deal is when we do a panel, or when I used to do a panel, it was really bad to go through information before it, because then the panels, we were going to talk a long time as we had good conversations. So I'm just thinking out loud. We're really, I mean, I'm kind of jumping the gun right now, because I really wanted to see what the UN report would say, and then I'd be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do with that. This is what I'm going to do with my channel. I'm even thinking about, a lot of stuff, about doing a lot of stuff. But a call-in show would be good. Maybe just once in a while, just do the call-in show. Get some people on here. It wouldn't have to be like just 15 minutes or something, but at least your voices could be heard. You could stay anonymous, and then non-TIs could, could see that there's these people experiencing this stuff, which other channels have done before too, right? A lot of other channels have had call-ins with targeted individuals and stuff like that. I have so much trouble putting together things. Like at Dell, it would have taken me like an hour to get everything. Like if I wanted to do something like this, it would have taken me an hour to figure out everything, and what microphone I wanted to buy, and and what connection I needed if I wanted to play video games on my other channel. It would have taken an hour to figure out everything. My mind would have just been like organized all of it in my head. And now it's like I can't even get motivated to do it if I figure it out. Oh, they have phone numbers? Tanya says, Kyle asked for Nod or Amigos V. They have phone things you can call in. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure that out, guys. And that'll be a fun thing. That'll be something we can do. I don't want to plan too much stuff. I thought I'd mention that. That's something I really want to do. I want to just do stuff. Sometimes all I can do is just talk about the things that I want to do. Nadia says, "Do you get my emails?" I haven't been checking my emails lately, Nadia, but I'll go through them. I'll go through them and I'll email you back. I'm gonna be better about this stuff. I'm just gonna pull myself up by my bootstraps. I'll stay in contact with you guys. Okay, I'll check. It may not be tonight, but I'll check it soon and I'll get back to you. Yeah, Karen says, I can't think straight for hours in the AM. If I stay up longer than 12 hours, basically at that 12 hours mark, I can't, if I have to go out and talk to people and so it gets weird. And then if I, like right when I wake up, if I sleep any period of time, the first like hour is like my brain is a lot more negative and depressed and I can't think. But with this stuff, it only lasted like 50. I got up, I felt kind of like dread and stuff like that. And it wasn't as long, you know, but I'm still going to be working with it. I just think there's a lot of simple things that we can do to really interfere with them. You got to remember that your attackers are trying to get signals back. They're trying to get signals back from your brain and your ears because they're reading what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and everything like that. If you can interfere with the signals that they're getting back, then it's going to interfere with the signals that they're sending to you, to your body, and to your brain. So remember that interference, you know, they're sending signals to and getting, but they're getting signals back, right? The first they're seeing, because what my attackers do sometimes for the visual cortex thing, right? When they pump something into your visual cortex, they do this picture of a road runner, right? And it's kind of this litmus where they can see how good the signal is in the visual cortex, and they're receiving it on their integrated neuroweapon system. So they do the litmus as the road runner picture. And sometimes it's like very unclear in my visual cortex. It's not as good as they want it. They're not seeing it as clear. Interference is one of the biggest things. We need to do a lot more. We need to do a lot more. Number one, this is why I didn't want to come on before the UN thing, because I start going, we need to do this. We need to do this. Well, really right now, we need to hunker down, get as comfortable as you can with defenses and things, and we need to see what's going to happen this week. See if it'll give us any kind of leeway or anything to go to doctors with or anything. I know the mainstream media. Okay, let's not say that. Hopefully, the mainstream media, from whatever happens this week or when the UN report comes out, there's a huge story about it. But you know, I wouldn't bet something important on that. Jonathan Cushing says, and I have noticed from learning from Brian too and applying it to Jesus' words and how to treat peeps, i.e. Matthew chapter 5, and I have noticed that the same principles apply. If you use the golden rule, treat others as you would have others treat you. Yeah, I've done that. I've treated people so well my whole life, and it sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes you don't get that back. Well, it's not about getting it back. Like the Bible talks about, you treat others how you want to be treated, even if they're treating you bad. You know. Tanya says, Ace, a lot of targeted individuals are getting tortured all day and all night. Yeah, I'm getting tortured as I make this video. That's another thing. That's another thing that's so uncomfortable. You don't know what your attackers are going to do. I feel a little bit more psychologically sturdy though, and really, my attackers play around so much. They may be making it feel a little bit better because I've been doing the positive healing affirmations with Dave Case's CD and just making sure I do it all night long for I think a week. It's been about a week. I feel more psychologically like I can like before everything started to get where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. This is hopeless. I'm a little bit more like myself before, where it's like, I got to figure this out. We got to get some solutions. Look, this could be, you know, I've been trying to kind of hold that down even way for the videos, but yeah, I actually concretely feel that way inside a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. Ace Spade says bioelectric field is affected by energy we take for granted. We have so much frequency and energy, and things beyond that the brain runs on, our body runs on, that are integral, and everybody in the public ignores that. You're just a hunk of meat to everybody, and there is no energy transfer or anything like. There's no energy sharing or biofields. That's all New Age criminy crew. Criminy crew. I just came up with that. Oh yeah, yeah. Jerusha says you do seem a little better to me than the last time I called you live. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to take a break. It gets piled up. My brain can't deal with it. And there was like drama and stuff. There's drama in my individual life, and then there's just the YouTube stuff and just a lot of stuff that kind of piled up. And then when I take a break and get away, then I kind of refresh. I can reboot as much as my attackers will let me. Yeah, I agree with that. Jonathan says Kyle is all modernized witchcraft. Yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that. But these technologies, really good things could be done with them. So they're taking these advanced technologies and they're doing satanic things with them. But it's just technology. Like if we had good leaders, if we had kings that were following God, that God like David, like King David, and they had this technology, they would be using it to heal people, to wipe out mental illness. So it's like miracles could be done with these technologies that seem to have been, everything. God invented everything, right? So God controls these technologies. Maybe he's allowed Satan to control them for a while. They belong to God. Karen says, I'm tired of running. I'm tired of sitting in my place. I was kind of thinking about this, and I'll kind of end it on this, guys. But I was thinking if this UN thing just does nothing, like if they don't even talk about us or whatever, I'm really thinking about moving to another country, like Ecuador or something like that. Because the thing is, like Brian too has been moving around for a long time, so his attackers have whatever they've adjusted to him moving around all the time. They've gotten the systems and whatever they need, whatever is being used in the infrastructure, so he can't get away wherever he goes. But I'm thinking with my targeting, I've been sitting in the same place for so many years. If I like move to Ecuador or something like that, I could maybe get like a couple of months, and with those couple of months, I don't know what I can do. But I'm hoping that doesn't have to happen. I'm hoping that actually something good happens with the UN. Yeah, Jonathan says demons speak into the mind, and so do frequencies carry information. My attackers are demons. I'll say that. Say my attackers are really demonic. But see, I don't think we should be like, I think people are like, well, demons can be in frequencies, right? But good things can be in frequencies. We don't want to say that everything that exists, frequency and energy, is just like demons hidden in all of them. There's like good spiritual forces, angels, chain of creation up to God, right? There's good things that are trying to speak to us too, trying to speak to our heart, trying to speak in our mind. That's why I say clean your pineal gland, detoxify your pineal gland. You'll feel more connected to the forces for good, not demonic, not low frequency forces. Because I think that our Creator gave us things when He built us, right? He gave us certain things in that body that would pick up on things that He needed us to pick up on. There's other ways too, right? Not just the pineal gland, but really, I've heard that a lot. Tanya says, Kyle, there's a lady on Ella Free. She's not targeted anymore. I hear a lot of people saying they're not targeted, or they were targeted for a day, or they used to have V2K or something like that. I don't know what to think about that, Tanya. Oh, she moved to a different country. She's not targeting. I don't know. I don't know what to think about people who really didn't move to another country, but they're targeting this stuff. I'm suspicious of them. Some of them not anymore, right? But because with mine, it's like how this is all set up, they're not going to stop. I mean, they're going to have to. It's going to have to be something big to make them stop. They're not just going to be like, because this is funded. It's heavily funded. It's experimentation on my brain. They're making a lot of money off of it. A lot of contractors are probably involved in collecting information off of this. Probably, subcontractors doing the work, but then it's information shared about what's happening. It's a lot of, I'm in a lot of danger. Like from how much they've done to me, what exactly they're doing to me. Like they don't really care if they don't want me to live, really. So I forgot my point on that one. Yeah, Rose says Brian too goes to all kinds of different countries and he still gets targeted. But I'm wondering, like, okay, so Brian got targeted and then he moved somewhere else. How long did it take his attackers to get everything set up, right? Because attackers here, okay, and I really got to go, guys, after this. But they're probably using one of the microwave towers around me because I'm just sitting here, and then that's pretty convenient. And then they're maybe using radar too, maybe drone, maybe, but they're probably using that. A lot of it's probably the microwave towers around me. Now, say I go to Ecuador or want to move somewhere else, they're going to have to go specifically to probably satellite radar first. They probably wouldn't even go to drones first because there's drones and they've got to go through all these different territories. And can this drone from this country go into this territory? You can't do that. So they're probably doing, and my attackers put an article on my computer, satellite radar, about satellite radar. I want to show you all that. They just put it on there one night when I was asleep. And it's like, so satellite controls like over the horizon radar, which usually, like, you would have over the horizon radar. Can the United States, like, use that in Ecuador, or can the United States use its over the horizon radar? Can it go all the way to Ecuador? We're dealing with stuff like that can go so far. Other things that I'm not even speaking about, Yeah, Karen, I do too. Karen says, I find it hard to believe those no longer targeted. Yeah, question everything. Question everything. Go with your gut. Yeah, for the grounding, Karen, you're saying test your electrical sockets. Yeah, I think that my attackers mess with my electrical sockets, but I don't think it affects my grounding, though. Yeah, Honey Ann says dirty electricity is awful. I thought it was affecting my grounding for a while. I thought it was, but I don't think it is. All right, guys, I love y'all. I hope y'all have it's like 1:20 in the morning. Hope y'all have a good rest of the night. Ochu 1981. Ochu 1981 is having a live stream. If people want to go over there, I like Ochu. All right, guys, and I love y'all. I'll definitely see y'all in the next one. Just everybody stay strong. Let's keep our eyes peeled this week, and let's be looking on the UN website, and then I'm going to find the place where we can hopefully. We've got to be able to get video or transcripts of this. Yeah, definitely. We're obviously going to be able to get transcripts, but I want to get it on video. Ochu did? Okay. Ochu, so Ochu's not doing a live stream anymore. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off, but I'll be back on soon. And just try that. Do just affirmations. You don't have to do the subliminals if those worry you. If you're a little bit more, I mean, the subliminals have been doing good for me. I think that's necessary for my psychic driving because they're doing negative subliminals, and I want those positive subliminals that I can't hear doing this. I want the stuff that I can hear messing with the V2K. I want the stuff that I can't hear, the subliminals, messing with the subliminal negative things too. Peace out, guys. Peace out, Honey Ann. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Karen. Thank you for coming, Jonathan. Jonathan says, love and God bless all. And thanks for coming, Arachno Nixon. I hope everything's going okay with you. I hope you're hanging in there, man. Okay, so Ochu's not live. And you are a good woman, Karen. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. I try. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I don't know. Sometimes, though, it's just like, well, we'll get into that next time. I'm not going to say, like, oh, sometimes I feel like an evil person. No, I mean, we're all pretty good people here. But sometimes I'm just like, man, this is going on for so long. It's hard to prove to people there's logical hope, right? Even when myself. And So we got to get something. We got to get some big breakthrough soon. You know, and that's it. That's it. We got to try for that. We got to help each other. All right, guys. I love y'all. Good night, Jerusha. Thanks for coming. Blessings all. Jerusha McBear says blessings all. You too, Nadia. Nadia says take care of yourself, Kyle. God bless you all. All right, guys. Good night. And I'll see you on the next one.